Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Let me turn this music down. Welcome to another episode of Public Domainia, although this is the first episode to actually go out with that title since someone was kind enough in the comments of the last one to give me a good idea for the title, and that's pretty good. Public Domainia, not bad. Thank you to whoever did that. And I was given permission, I didn't just steal that. I asked them permission and they said that's fine. So welcome! Today we're going to be looking at a bunch of other fun public domain stuff. We're going to be looking at another episode of this game show, Queen for a Day, which we watched a week or so ago, which is a very dystopian show from the 50s and 60s in which typically a woman, I think they did have specials where they did King for a Day, but in the Queen for a Day episodes, typically 4 women will come on the show and they'll be asked what they want. And you'd think it'd be like, oh, I want to go to Hawaii, or oh, I want a new car. No, it's like, my child has a disease, and we would really like to buy the medication, sir. And then each one of them gives their spiel on what they need, and then by the end of the episode, they have, by a show of applause, the audience decides which woman gets the thing that they need. And it's pretty horrifying. So we'll probably watch a little bit of that. Give us Reefer Madness? That's gotta be its own special episode, right? It's gotta be. We, of course, just have the Public Domain Archive, which we'll probably take a look at some stuff from there. We have some educational films from 50s, 60s, stuff like that. We have some stuff from the World's Fair, which were pretty big. And yeah, other stuff. I also didn't get a chance to eat lunch yet, so you're gonna have to watch me eat Hot Pockets. I apologize for you having to listen to me eat Hot Pockets on stream, but it's my lunch, so that's what I'm gonna have. Thank you, I missed some stuff. Thank you to Nimnix for continuing your subscription with a 5-month streak. And yeah, I think that's the only thing I missed. Cool. They put animals in tiny cages. The woman got a very scared cat. Yeah, in the first episode, one of the prizes was a cat, and it was in a little cage, and it looked very sad. Is the Reefer Madness musical public? I don't think so. So anyway, let's get to the stuff. I don't really know what else, you know, there's not a lot of preamble to this show. There's not a lot of frills and bells and whistles. We're just gonna get to it. Let's start with Queen for a Day. Like I said, this is a horrifying dystopian TV show. And we're gonna enjoy it. It's okay, don't worry. Even though a lot of these people are going through horrifying things in this show, They're probably dead now, so it's fine.
That is here. Royal. Regal.
Daddy Sume with a link. Let me look at this real quick. Maybe we'll get to Reefer Madness, I don't know.
Capitalism.
Oh, Cold Stare, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Much appreciated.
Imperial.
There's nothing
Okay.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Majestic. You know something, there just isn't any better way to put it than, would you like to be queen for a day?
There's nothing
Once again from Hollywood's great Moulin Rouge Theater Restaurant, Pan American Coffee Bureau, who says, on a break, make it coffee, make it often, make it right.
I feel like it's unsafe to put people in a costume where they can't have access to their arms. What if they
There's nothing
fall
funny about the
over?
tools of capitalism.
Did I miss anything? No.
X-Lax, the laxity that helps you towards your normal regularity gently overnight, and Heart...
X-Lax gets it's a sponsor on every episode of this we watched so far. Did people in the 50s just have a lot of constipation or what?
Mountain, the pet product for happier, healthier pets, proudly present Queen for Today, the Cinderella Show, starring the one and only King of Queen for Today, Mr. Jack Bailey. Thank you very much. Hey, you did that good. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Emergency Showroom once again, and you know, incidentally, I flipped past the word Imperial in this dictionary a minute ago. I shouldn't have, because it reminds me that our Gold Imperial from Chrysler is waiting outside the Moulin Rouge, and it's waiting to take today's queen on a really big day in movie land. She has to be one of the 4 candidates that we'll be meeting on our show today, and we'll say hello to number 1 in just a moment. But first, keeping your cat playful as a kitten is easy. To tell you how, here's a word about Hearts Mountain. Now, here's a happy cat.
Can we get more ads in 2020 with just dudes and it just fades in out from black and it's just him petting a cat? I will take your entire stock.
What's he so happy about? Why, brand new Hearts Mountain Cat Yummies. You know, giving your cat or kitten a few yummies between meals is just about the nicest thing you can do for him. That's because new Cat Yummies are tempting little tidbits specially made from fish, liver, meal, and cereal. The foods and flavors cats and kittens just can't resist.
There's nothing funny
The
about
Cat
the
Yummies
tools
are
of
nourishing,
capitalism.
too, and good for your pet.
Towing24 with 10 bits in the 50s. They were on a proto Michaela Peterson diet, where it was either meat or processed trash, nothing else. I mean, I'm eating Hot Pockets, although that's probably more prone to give you diarrhea than constipation. So.
Veterinarian approved and made without sugar, they give your cat the extra vitamins and minerals between meals that will make him more playful, more frolicsome, and more fun as a pet. So be nice to your pet in the nicest way of all. Keep a package of Hearts Mountain Cat Yummies on hand always. And say, if you have a dog, remember him.
It makes it's a little funny to think about, but like, I like that the focus of this cat food ad is like, give it to your cat. They'll be more fun to play with as a cat. You know, the object you own. Whereas like a pet food ad in 2020 is more about like, keep your pet healthy because you care about them. It's a subtle difference, but it's there.
Between meals with Hearts Mountain Dog Yummies, the candy-like treat that all dogs love. Look for Hearts Mountain Dog Yummies and new Hearts Mountain Cat Yummies in the bright orange packages, wherever pet products are sold. Made only by Hearts Mountain.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Ed, you got me a nice lady here to visit with. I want to thank you. How do you feel, Viva?
Good.
Bert?
Right.
B-I-R...
74 Quinn 74 with 100 bits. Well, I gotta get back to work, but I can be back in a few hours. Love
There's
you.
nothing funny
Love
about
from
the
your
tools of
neighbor,
capitalism.
Milwaukee. Well, thank you. Logarth with 10 bits. Hearts was the company that recently had to recall cat and dog food because of an additive was killing them. I guess don't buy that brand.
C-H, well, that's nice. Where are you from, Viva?
In Medina.
Yeah, you lived there all your life?
Oh, 13 years.
Were you born around here?
MMO Addicted has some sort of study. Civilization in the colon, constipation and the disease of
There's nothing
diseases.
funny about the tools
The
of
publication in April
capitalism.
2000 of the results of a clinical trial that found high-fiber cereals had no protective effect against colorectal adenomas, stirred up considerable media attention and shook a cherished tenet of popular health culture. After all, boxes of all brand have been assured us for nearly 2 decades that they contain at least some news about cancer you can live with, and the manufacturers of high-fiber cereals have enjoyed unprecedented profits thanks to the assumption that their products provide insurance against colon cancer. I guess I've never looked at, like, bran flakes and thought, yeah, that'll help me not get colon cancer, but I don't know.
Missouri.
What's up?
Framer, Missouri.
Yeah?
Upgrade your pet with our new pet food. It's the DLC of the animal world.
And what's Mr. Birch do up there in San Bernardino?
Yeah, we're doing charisma saves at around 8, I think.
Yeah? What's he sell?
Well, he tries to sell money.
There's nothing
But
funny
people
about
don't
the
seem to
tools
have
of
it now to
capitalism.
sell.
Oh, he's an investment broker without any brokering, huh? How about children?
I have 2,
Good for you. How old are they?
13 and 5.
Well, that's just wonderful. Now, Miss Birch, I think your wish has something to do with one of the children, or both.
Yes. My boy,
Yeah, what's his name?
John Vernon.
Old John? What's the matter with old John?
Well, he's crippled up with cerebral palsy.
Is that so?
Yes, sir.
And he's now how old? 13?
13.
Yeah, he's had it quite a while. How can we help John?
Well, he needs a wheelchair and he needs a special bike for exercising.
This woman is on this game show to win a wheelchair for her child with cerebral palsy. And she might not win. Ah! Scroll further down for the commercials. They're disturbing. Okay. Let me take a look. I'm imagining Hans Wormhat watching this and trying to transvestigate people and being like, this person's only 30 years old, but they look like they're 60. Bowel bloat? Oh no. That's gross. This person is so stuffed with poop, it's literally coming out of their mouth, and that's absolutely disgusting. Oh god. Oh. Huh. Sure. Sure, they're rectal dilators. I mean, they are, technically. Jesus. Ridiculous.
Had you promised him this by any chance?
Yes, I had.
Well, why didn't you keep your promises, Ma?
Well, I had to go to the hospital and have my legs operated on, had to quit working and
What were you doing?
waitress work.
Oh, boy.
25
that,
years of it.
25 years, and that did it to your leg.
It sure did.
Did you work up in San Bernardino?
Yes.
And now you have to take it a little easier yourself.
Well, I can't work. I'd sure keep my promise.
Bet you would keep your promise. Now, he's a 13-year-old boy, then he wants... Do you want a sort of a special bike?
Well, he needs it for exercising his legs. He's had quite a lot of surgery done, and they require exercising.
You bet your life. And a special wheelchair, and a special bike, and a wheelchair.
You have to stay home all the time.
You bet your life. Now, the other child okay?
Capitalism.
Oh, she's fine.
That's great. You got one that...
MMO addicted with 10 bits. Honey, it's not like that, Jerry. Was just helping with my constipation.
needs a little special help. And if Viva Birch, if you're our queen, we're going to get a wheelchair and a special bike, okay?
Thank you.
You keep well yourself. Goodbye, Viva.
This show is so gross.
Thank you very much. You need a little help there with that boy. 13 years old needs some help. You know, we try to see that our queens get in on as many firsts as they possibly can, and believe you me, there's a dandy in store for today's royal lady. In fact, she'll have her own private screening of one of the most spectacular motion pictures ever made.
The picture is Spartacus, the dramatic story of history's first freedom fighter.
I just want my kid to have a wheelchair. We're gonna get you to see Spartacus.
Starring Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, Gene Simmons, Charles Lawton, Peter Ustinov, John Cavan, and Tony Curtis.
And like I said before, our queen today will have her own personal preview. And now, before we meet candidate number 2, why don't you watch this?
This coffee'll help us with our constipation. Every ad is just an ad for people who are constipated.
Satisfying cups of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment bright, fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee, make it often, make it right.
To brighten any moment.
Make it coffee.
To
This
enjoy-
episode just says 1950s. It doesn't have a direct date on it, so I'm actually not sure. It just says 1950s.
That fresh aroma.
Make it often,
Make it up fresh each time in a clean container. And for full flavor,
make it right.
and here's how. For each cup of
Thank you, Baja.
fresh drawn water, use one approved measure of your favorite coffee. That's all, one approved measure per cup.
Satisfying cups of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment bright, fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee, make it often, make it right.
Does smoking a bunch of cigarettes make you constipated? Because people were smoking constantly back then. So maybe they had to drink a ton of coffee and take a bunch of laxatives to counteract the 7 cigarettes they would smoke a day. Am I eating Hot Pockets? Yes. I haven't had a chance to eat lunch yet.
Now look who's got here. You got a nice smile, and you and I know something a lot of other people know that the audience don't know about you. But we
That's
better
right,
find out who you are
capitalistic
first. Kate
propaganda.
McGrath,
That's right.
where's your home?
Canoga Park.
And you, Mr. McGrath, lived there
Disco
quite a while?
Misty, thank you for
9
following.
years we've been married.
Good for you.
Smoking actually has a laxative effect? Why did people in the
There's nothing
50s
funny
have
about
such
the tools
trouble
of capitalism.
pooping then? What is happening?
Now, you turn around and tell everybody what just happened a couple, 3 months ago at your house.
Well, we have baby triplet girls,
Triplets. And how many children did you have before the 3 got here?
4 others.
So that's 4 and 3 is 7.
That's right.
I hope that's a lucky 7 for you. What's Mr. McGrath do?
He's a carpenter maintenance man for the Board of Education.
He's a sawer and a hammerer.
Yes,
And he comes home with dirty overalls and a big appetite.
yes, and he's up all night, too.
With the triplets, I think the whole family's up.
Pretty much so.
Yeah. Now, how are the little fellas? Are they identical triplets?
Well, we have been told that they will be.
Yeah.
Of course, Bonnie is a little behind because she was in a children's hospital for 2 months.
Oh, one of them had to stay behind.
Yes,
She's a little slower.
that's right. I have her home with me now,
Good.
and then she's scheduled to go back in 6 weeks when we have her up, about 6 weeks when we have her up to
There's
15
nothing funny
pounds.
about the
Yeah.
tools of
How much did the little
capitalism.
fellas weigh when they got here?
Well, one was 3'3", and 3'14" and a half, and Bonnie was 5'9". She was my biggest.
MMO addicted with 10 bits, bad diets in part, but also it was an easy way to shill Needles merchandise. You don't have waterfalls, you clearly are constipated. These meds were easy to prove they work, so people took them. Okay.
One.
And she's the one who's been kind of sick.
That's right.
Now, the girls or boys?
They're all girls.
All 3 girls.
That's right.
I'll bet old Dad's down there strutting around.
I should say.
There's nothing funny about the
Well,
tools
let me
of
ask you this
capitalism.
now. If you're like the queen for
That guy knows nothing about triplets, because he asked, are they identical? And she said, they will be, which is a weird qualifier. I think she took it as like, do they look exactly the same? Whereas identical twins is like, it's a kind of twin. You either are identical twins or you're not. It's identical or fraternal, and they're triplets. So from her answer, I would guess they are identical triplets. And then the guy said, are they all girls? If they're identical, the chances are they're all girls. There are edge cases where different things can happen, but 99% of the time, yeah.
today,
Tom G 101 00110101. Thank you for subscribing, and says, happy subiversary, Hannah. You're the only sub I can afford on my own until probably March, but you're worth it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the show.
you can't go on a trip, I don't suppose. What would you like?
Well, I would like diaper service.
Are any of the other kids still in diapers?
Well, my 2-year-old isn't completely trained.
Uh-huh.
We're working on it, so.
Slow but sure.
That's right.
And along comes the
She
3.
wants a diaper service. What a diaper service is, if you don't know, back in the day when cloth diapers were the standard, disposable diapers didn't exist yet, you could hire a service instead of washing, the diapers in your own laundry and stuff. You could hire a service that would come and pick up the dirty cloth diapers and go wash them and bring them back.
And that's a lot of diapers, Ma.
It is, and Bonnie requires special care
I
for a
see.
while.
All right.
And we hope it'll be over in 6 weeks.
It seems like you could use a few extra minutes yourself with these children.
That's the idea.
Bet your life. Well, if you're like the queen, diaper service you get for the triplets, and good luck with you now, and take care of that other
funny
little
about
fella,
the tools of
huh? Sure, thank you.
I'm rooting for the wheelchair woman so far. MMO Addicted with 10 bits. There was also an eating problem with processed food and people eating too fast. They even did PSAs about this. Oh boy. Let me pull up that PSA. I do enjoy some good old-fashioned PSAs. We can watch this after the episode.
That's your line. And now, here to tell us about Her Majesty's Royal Wardrobe is our own First Lady of Fashion.
Diapers suck, but she doesn't deserve to win compared to the lady who needs a wheelchair. That's what I hate about this show. It makes me take sides when really they should get help with all of these things. It would be, because, like, the show, if you didn't watch the first episode that we watched together a week ago, the show doesn't just give the person who wins the thing they asked for. They also give them, like, a new washer-dryer, a trip, like, somewhere. They give them a bunch of electronics and devices and stuff. And honestly, if they just gave every single contestant the thing they asked for, it would probably cost the same. It's maddening watching this show unfold.
Miss
There's
Jean
nothing
Gag.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Oh god, this is really depressing. I can't watch this. I'll see y'all later. Send me a message when we're on something a little less soul-crushing. I can watch a podcast on engineering disasters and not feel much, but this is just agonizing. Alright, hope you come back when we're done.
Agni. That's right here. That's Jean there.
There's nothing funny
Hello,
about the
Jean.
tools of capitalism.
Hello, Jack. Thank you. Colors as rich and exciting as a Persian tapestry lend an exotic touch to our fashions today.
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. I mean, the U.S. healthcare is a GoFundMe-based popularity contest where if you lose, you die. True.
And each is from one of the famous designers who outfit our queen. For instance, a gaily printed belt sparks the deep olive of the shirtwaister by Serban in Miami. The slim line is emphasized by a twin row of buttons and baby doll sleeves. Her Majesty will travel in beauty anywhere with this quick tripper of cosmetics from the individualized studios of Merrill Norman, including this creamy, smooth powder base. Bell sleeves, outlined in black, add interest to this cardigan neck dress. Marjorie Montgomery of California
I don't care about this dress.
styled it a black and white tweed with a flaring gourd skirt. Now, Royal Lady's watch combines lifetime accuracy with timeless beauty.
This show is like 60% ads.
Diamonds flash from the tiny crowns of the Queen for a Day by Helbros. Nardis of Dallas chose antique gold tones for this slim skirt and belted jerkin. Note the pockets on the full peplum, and with it, jewel tones of red and black and a horizontally striped jersey. There are styles for every occasion in the lovely shoes by Grace Walker, and Her Majesty will have a whole array, each pair fit for a queen. Persian shades of olive and mustard form the batik print of this charming poncho, and like all our queen's blouses from ship and shore, this cotton needs little or no
There's
ironing.
nothing funny about the tools
There are
of capitalism.
delicate colors to rival an oriental print in the pairs and pairs of lovely nylons.
Gotta work
Her
that big
Majesty will have
laxative
some
shaft for
magic
the
motion knit
sponsorship,
looms of
Hannah.
Mojud.
Yeah, X-Lax, please sponsor me. I'm not I'm not a great candidate. I have diarrhea more often than I have constipation, so.
For afternoon into evening charm, Abe Reines fashioned this suit of black wool. The swim skirt is topped
Which definitely isn't too much information. You're welcome.
by a brief jacket piped in ebony satin. Flashing rhinestones set in silvery starbursts form this delicate threesome from Sarah Coventry. You lend a hint of stardust to your favorite ensemble. White satin gleams under gold.
Okay, I'm skipping this stupid
Nothing
stuff.
funny
Who
about the
cares?
tools of capitalism.
Woohoo Lulu, thank you for subscribing with Prime. MMO Addicted with 10 bits. You mean you aren't the new official mascot of Hot Pockets? I should be.
There's nothing funny
Querulous
about the
Artisan
tools
with
of
10 bits. This is
capitalism.
more numbing than the mortgages I have to check through every weekday.
Constipation can be a problem.
Ah, there it is again! Why did these people have
There's
such
nothing funny about
clogged up
the tools of
poopers?
capitalism.
For anyone. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from said they wanted a laxative that is effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence. Now, X-Lax has been used with complete confidence by many doctors and millions of people over the years because pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset, no discomfort. So whenever your normal regularity is interrupted, you can rely on X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity, gently, overnight. X-Lax.
Now we're going to talk candidate number 3. I'm glad to see you. And I
There's
hope you're
nothing
not too
funny
shook
about
up
the
about being
tools of
here.
capitalism.
How do you spell your
Is that list of desirable traits and laxatives, or is it in a constipation relief assistant?
first name?
Marguerite. Marguerite.
I wish you could see
Thanks for spelling it. I do. Her glasses are interesting.
the way that Tom, our boy secretary, spelled that. Your last name is Sulkin.
That's right.
Where do you live, Miss Sulkin?
I live in Van Nuys.
Were you born around here?
No, I was born in Minnesota.
Yeah? What town?
Minneapolis.
Well, we're from the St. Paul Winter Carnival, a lot of us. We were out there. That's a big thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
I've
do you
seen
like it out here?
I like it.
You glad you come out?
Yes, sir, I am.
It's not so cold in the winter.
No, that's right.
Boy, George, yeah. Say, Mrs. Sulkin, let's get right into what you want, and most especially why. And you got a good reason for being here. What would you like if you're queen for a day?
I would like to have a vacation, which I haven't
That's right,
had.
capitalistic
Because I
propaganda.
had 2 handicapped sons. I lost them, and then I took care of an elderly lady in a wheelchair. She passed away. My mother and my father, and 1 month after my father, my husband passed away.
Is I...
And I feel that I would like to have a vacation, which I haven't been able to have because I have to work.
All your life seems like your adult life, you've been taking care of people.
That's right, I have.
We're awfully sorry about, and I believe, too, that your husband has passed away.
That's right.
As I told Mrs. Sulkin...
Dolly Ryder,
before the
thank you for
show,
following.
I will repeat, there is nobody had more bad luck than you had. And may I say one thing on our show, which we don't often say, but you
There's nothing
told
funny
that, and
about
that
the
was a
tools
hard
of
story to tell.
capitalism.
And you must have a wonderful, wonderful spirit. And
I'm still going with person who needs a wheelchair for their kid. Like, I feel bad for this lady. She lost her kids who were, like, disabled, but also the other person needs it for their kid who's alive and needs a wheelchair. Little Johnny needs a wheelchair.
we don't want to do anything to shatter that.
Bumble Homestead with 100 bits. Is it just the COVID isolation speaking, or is he standing uncomfortably close to her? Maybe, I don't know.
Now, where would you like to go? Just get away and take a vacation and have a trip and forget all of it and then start all over again, right?
That's right. I don't care just so I could get away.
That's the main thing, and we'll just take care of that. And if you're elected our queen, you get your satchels packed and your lunch. No, we'll take care of that. We'll send you someplace where they'll feed you, okay?
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and lots of good luck to you, Mrs.
I think it was just the angle made it look like he was closer to her than he actually was.
Sulkin. Must be a very brave lady. You go there with old Ed. She's a brave lady.
The crown is all ready. We need only a queen. So part 2 of our show will now convene. Brought to you by Arrestin, the new all-family cough medicine by Johnson & Johnson.
I swear to God, when they said Arrestin, my first thought was it's to counter all the laxatives. It's some medication for when you take too many laxatives. It'll slow things up.
Staley's Laundry Twins, and new Super Starlax, the new non-fat dry milk.
Made by the same people who make X-Lax. We're playing both sides. We can't lose.
That's now homogenized smooth. And now, before we meet our final candidate, let's meet 2 of America's best-loved personalities, Elsie the Borden cow and her spouse, Elmer.
Elmer, is it on the front page? Where are the headlines about new Super Starlax, Borden's new non-fat dry milk? Does it say Super Starlax now homogenized smooth?
Homogenized smooth.
That's right, homogenized smooth for faster dissolving, for fresher flavor.
If this show didn't have ads, it would be 2 minutes long. It would be, what do you want? Oh, my kid needs a wheelchair. What do you want? Oh, my dad has cancer. We want to go to Disneyland. Oh, what do you want? And then everyone would vote, and it would be a 2-minute show. Let's reboot this on YouTube. It'll be 2 minutes, and at the end, everyone gets what they want.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. Oh god, I zoomed in and started to read that rectal dilator article, and it's gold. The object of the treatment is to stretch or dilate the rectal muscles more than they have been accustomed to, and to a point where it causes some momentary pain or thrill. The pain on insertion may be relieved by the use of Dr. Young's Pilament, which is recommended as the most satisfactory and convenient lubricant.
Picture.
Yes, announcing Borden's brand new milk discovery, new Super Starlac. It's as smooth as homogenized for faster
Sushi Mom, I hate this cow with an undying rage. Do you know how many times I got teased with this because my name is Elsie? Did this ad campaign continue until much later?
dissolving.
I've never heard of this cow before.
I hardly have to stir, and there are no pasty lumps either.
Homogenized smooth also means fresher flavor, real country fresh flavor.
What? Good.
Sure, the true milk flavor you'd expect from Borden's, and new Super Starlac costs only about 9 cents a quart. So for faster dissolving, for fresher flavor, try all new Super Star.
I've never had powdered milk. I have a feeling it's not farm fresh tasting.
Starlac, Borden's
Whatever that even means.
new non-fat dry milk that's now
It's not, it's not fake. It's just, I think it's dehydrated milk that you mix with water and then it, it reconstitutes, more or less.
Homogenized smooth. It is news.
Hey, remember something. That's Borden Starlac, huh? It's not only new, but it's downright delicious. That's Iowa for delicious. Hello, Red. I just said to Red a few minutes ago, if you'd have stayed home and finished the dishes, you wouldn't have been in this mess. How are you feeling, Red? Arlene Harding?
Yes, that's right,
Tell
sir.
us where you live, please.
5925 North Whitnall Highway, North Hollywood.
Oh, that's great. We had everything but the phone number. What's Mr. Harding do?
Well, he's a machinist.
Yeah, you got children, haven't you?
Oh, I sure do.
How many boys?
I have 3 boys.
And 1 girl.
Yes, that's right.
Is the girl home with you?
Yeah, she's a nurse.
Wonderful. See, now, but you're proud of her.
Well, I sure am.
What do the boys do?
Well, I have 2 wonderful sons that are in the Navy. One's a petty officer. He's a career man. He's been there 5 years already.
Good for him.
He test jumps parachutes.
Oh, brother, he's doing it the hard way.
Yeah, down in the middle of the desert in El Centro.
In the Navy?
Yes.
Oh, dear, now what's happened to the Navy? They're over in the desert.
Well, when they're not at my house, they're there.
Yeah, now that has something to do with your wish, hasn't it?
Yes, they're up in San Diego. I have another son that's
Barron Trump just tested positive for coronavirus. Ugh. That poor kid.
He's on the, he was at Lexington.
Yeah.
And, of course, when they're in, now they're in too, you know. So every weekend I have quite a lot of sailors in my house.
Now, what do you want if you're queen for a day?
I don't mind feeding them good, keeping the refrigerator full and, doing everything to make them happy, but I feel very uncomfortable when they sleep about 4 in a bed,
Yeah.
and sleep in bags. And
Yeah.
then my one son in high school, he brought home a couple of his friends, so they slept in the garage that night.
How many guys do you got there at night over the weekend?
Well, there's quite a few, I'll tell you. And, see, my one son never knows how many the other one's going to bring home, so, they don't like to, they know what it's like to be away from home and
Sure.
not have anything to do on the weekend, so.
So you need some help. But isn't that a wonderful feeling in your heart that your boys will bring those guys home?
Oh, that's the most important thing.
You bet your life. And you need some, as you said on your card, bunking equipment, huh?
Yes, it's something.
Oh, God. Okay. So her kids who are in the military will sometimes come home on shore leave or whatever
There's
in
nothing funny about
California,
the tools of
and they will
capitalism.
bring with them other people from, at least one of them's in the Navy, one I think is a paratrooper. They'll bring home other people, and she needs bunk beds to house the other people who are in the military. What? I hate this. Oh my god. MMO Addicted with 50 bits. Oh god, some conservatives quote gay sex will ruin your a-hole. Dr. Young, a man of learning, try to use the dilators each day. Their regular use tends to tone and strengthen the muscles. Also, quote, when using a larger size. For next use, the smaller size for a few minutes, inserting and withdrawing it several times. This is very beneficial and should not be overlooked. Yeah, the dilators are pretty funny.
Like that.
We'll get you some hammocks and some of those stacked up beds. And
Isn't this against an amendment? Well, she's doing it consensually. You can house troops whenever you want. You just can't be forced. I forget which amendment it is. I forget. It's the one, I think it's the third. Is it the third amendment where you don't have to quarter troops? But you can do so if you'd like.
Folding bed?
It won't be wonderful. Maybe a few of big cook pots, too, because they get, they're not quite large enough.
All right, so you can cook a lot of beans. You've got to be a great mother, and I'll bet you are a wonderful house mother when those guys are there, and we're going to take care of those boys for you if you're elected our queen, okay?
Well, thank you very much.
Keep the Navy sailing. We need them. Thank you very much, Arlene Harding. You betcha. You got something to say there?
Yes, I have, Jack.
When
Today,
you gonna say it?
Right now, as every
This
day-
minute?
Yes, sir.
Well, why don't you say it?
I'm trying to.
Oh, you're going to say it now.
Okay,
That's
fine.
the boy.
Today is every day. We have gifts not only for our queen, but for every lady interviewed. First, the West End automatic griddle and server jumbo size.
At least in this episode, they're giving the losers a consolation prize. In the other one, they didn't even give them that.
With over 200 inches of cooking area, there's plenty of room to prepare 2 or 3 foods at once.
Barron tested positive, exhibited no symptoms, and is now tested negative. Okay. He doesn't deserve to suffer for his father's abject incompetence and sociopathy.
And each lady will also receive this beautiful Hamilton Beach food converter. One powerful motor operates all 3 appliances: can opener, salad maker, and meat grinder.
Don't drop it.
And all Hamilton Beach custom appliances are guaranteed for 5 years.
There you go. Now,
Our candidates will
Poor kid, she didn't know when to walk away.
enjoy brighter floors with less work, too, thanks to this new
What are our plans for the 31st? We're going to be doing a Halloween spooky stream.
lightweight Hoover floor polisher. It will scrub, wax, and polish, as well as beautifully dry, clean, and wet shampoo carpets and rugs. And for our candidate's very personal pleasure, a gift of France's greatest and most exciting perfume, famed by Corday.
I thought it was going to be more laxative.
Anything
Now I'm just primed to see laxative everywhere.
can happen when you wear Fame. And now, before we have the final voting, here's a word from another gentleman who has something to say.
Hello, I'm Win Foreman. This is new Arrestin cough medicine by Johnson & Johnson. It's a small bottle, and it
There is not bingo for this, no.
costs a little more than ordinary cough medicine. Here's why.
Although that would be
Many cough
good.
medicines simply don't
Laxatives could be his face. Yeah.
contain an
No, we
effective
don't have a
cough
bingo
stopping
card for this,
ingredient.
though.
Many others contain narcotics. But narcotics limit the amount you can safely take, therefore limit the effectiveness. Well, Arrestin has a new medical cough suppressant.
That's why you just take as much as you want until you pass
Hemorrhagin
out.
is non-narcotic, therefore safer, especially for children. And because dimethorphan is so safe, it can be used in greater amounts. That's why there's more safe cough suppressant in Arrestin than in any leading cough preparation. In fact, this little bottle contains more safe cough relief than ever before possible without prescription. It's as simple as that. Buy the little bottle that stops big coughs. New Arrestin cough medicine by Johnson & Johnson.
Now, you've heard each of our royal candidates, so we're going to have the voting, and we'll have a queen here just before you know it. Number 1 was Mrs. Viva Birch. Mrs. Birch has a boy who's 13, and he has cerebral palsy. She would like a wheelchair and a special bike for him. She was working, but it's
There's nothing
impossible
funny
for her.
about
She
the
had a little
tools of
operation for that.
capitalism.
She'd like a wheelchair and...
Emma Addicted with 50 bits, last one. If used before resting, they will be found a promoter of more refreshing sleep. My insomnia will be cured by a good dilating.
special bike. Your applause for candidate number 1.
Oh, good. I think she's gonna win. It's the needles. They're burying the needle on this one. Please let the wheelchair person win.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Number 2 is Mrs. K. McGrath. Mrs. McGrath had 4 children, and all of a sudden she had triplets.
What if multiple people bury the needle? Like, what if people, just clap multiple times? I don't know if they're not supposed to do that or what.
One little girl is taking some special care. She's back home.
This show should be retitled Watch 3 People Have Their Hopes Rendered and Ripped from Them.
From the hospital.
At the whims of an audience.
But she'll
In 1950s California.
have to go back, and in order to get more time, she would like some diaper service for her triplets. Number 2. Number 3, Mrs. Margarita Sulka. Most of her
Woman who
adult
needs a
life,
wheelchair
she's
for her
taken care
kids
of
still
people.
winning.
She took care of a lady for a living. She lost 2 sons and her husband and her mother. And she would like just to take a vacation and get away from the whole thing and start again. Number 3.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure
Mrs.
woman
Arlene
who
Harding. She
needs
has 2
wheelchair
sons
for her
in the
kid's
Navy,
gonna win.
And they got a lot of buddies they bring home, and Ma has a good time for them, but she's running out of sleeping space. She would like, as she says, bunking equipment. Number 4.
Ooh, barely.
Number 1 is
Zoom in so we don't have to see the other women cry. Zoom in. Zoom in.
Viva Bert. Well, Mrs. Bert, you come right up here and get the crown, because, by golly, you're going to be the queen just as sure as shooting. And Mary Ann, I'm so proud of you. Got out.
Yeah, she's almost crying. She's almost crying. Guys. Guys. America.
Here and did something right. That's nice of you, Duchess. And now for the most thrilling moment of all, I crown you Queen Viva. Queen for a day. Queen Viva Bert. Now, Your Majesty, if you just take your place up there on the throne, here comes the Duchess with your first gift, the Queen's bouquet of 4 dozen brilliant coronation red roses from our royal florist, Carl's of Hollywood. Now the moment is here when Queen for a Day is happy to make your wish come true. We're going to see that that boy of yours has exactly the kind of bicycle he needs to provide that all-important exercise. And for the wheelchair, say, we'll go to the famous Everston Jennings Company and order one of their sturdy folding Everston Jennings chairs, and you just can't get a better one than that. And there's a sample of it right there.
Like, do they know who's going to... There was a game show fixing scandal in the 50s where it turned out a lot of game shows were rigged. I don't know if this was caught up in it or not. But, like, behind the scenes, if they don't know who's going to win, do they also have, like, a thing for the vacation or a thing for the bunk beds or you know what I mean? Because if they already have them, just give them to the people.
So much for your wish, Your Majesty. You'll also be going on a royal whirl of Hollywood with stops at such glamorous places as the Brown Derby for lunch with the movie and television stars, a personalized tour of Universal International Studios, dinner in the elegant splendor of the plush Sportsman's Lodge, and finally, the late show at the Crescendo starring Bob Newhart.
You know, Baker, that's only the beginning.
Really?
Yes, you see, she's queen.
Oh, that's right.
That's why she's on the
That-
phone. I
you
don't
are
want you
right.
to forget
You
stuff
are
like
right.
that. And we have a lot of gifts. And here they start, beginning with this amazing new Revere still camera. Now, the camera that does all the thinking for you.
In the episodes I've seen of this too, both of the contestants that won, once they're sitting on this chair and they're showing them all the like superfluous prizes of gadgets and cameras and cats and stuff, they don't give a shit. They do not care about this stuff. This is all just ads for these products. They're just happy that they got, like, the wheelchair or whatever. It looks like in their face, even they know how messed up this is. Like, it feels like an episode of Black Mirror, and they, like, know how messed up this is, but they gotta go along with it because they need the thing.
Automatically is yours. And with the Revere, all you have to do is aim at something, and the lens is all set for you, and then just click her, and you got a picture.
Well, of course, Your Majesty, to go along with your Revere camera, you'll also have this Model 777 Revere projector. It's easy to load and simple to operate. Your Revere will give you amazing theater-like quality.
Queen Viva, for instance, you could very well take this same picture when you visit the beautiful Jamaica Inn at Corona Del Mar on an all-expenses-paid weekend vacation. As a matter of fact, we got reservations there for you right now, starting this coming Friday. So, Queen Viva, there you go.
And incidentally, Your Majesty, why don't you take along this copy of the fabulous Spiegel catalog?
Like, she doesn't even look happy.
Take it right along with you. And that way, with the enclosed gift certificate, you may choose whatever suits your fancy and
There's
order
nothing
it
funny
direct
about the
from...
tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. Dance for our amusement, pleb. Dance and cheer and laugh. The makers and target audience of this show, probably.
Spiegel in Chicago.
Now, of course, when that weekend vacation is over...
Yeah, they gave her a vacation, which is what the other woman wanted. Like, can't she just be like, hey, just give that to that lady? She wants a vacation. Give it to her.
You got to come home, but look what you're coming home to. We have for you a kitchen. Now, look at this thing. On the left are 4 famous Westinghouse appliances. All 4 of them right there on one plate, and any one of which you'll find a joy to use. What's more, They all operate off the very same motor, and of course you can be sure if it's Westinghouse.
We also know that you'll enjoy using this complete set of handsome Club Aluminum holiday cookware. Permanently bonded and easy to clean, Club Aluminum has all the fine cooking qualities that have made it famous for years.
Here's a gift that is sure to thrill you. In fact, it may even shock you if you're not careful. Your Majesty, here's your brand new double socket. Ladies are always out of sockets, and I thought...
It's just a thing to plug into it. Why did they build that one up? It's you just plug it into your electrical socket, and then it's 2 sockets. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of those in my house. I might be using one for the computer right now. I'm using one for the light over here, too. Mostly because I use it as an extension cord. I guess this was a new thing in the 50s, but still.
You ought to have a socket. Of course, on Queen for a Day, we don't give things away without a reason. So to make use of your double socket, take a look at what else goes with your socket.
In one socket, you can plug in this brand new 100th anniversary model Adler sewing machine. Capable of doing all the stitches you're ever likely to need or use. You'll have your choice of cabinets in either lime, oak, walnut, or mahogany. And in the other socket, you can plug in the amazing Waste King Universal Imperial Dishwasher Dryer. Capable of holding a complete 14-place setting, the new Waste King scours every surface in both the top and bottom baskets. And best of all, the Waste King Universal goes where you go.
Finally, if I'm not mistaken, you said there were, 2 children. That is 4 in your family, which means 4 dinners a night. So I'll tell you what, why don't we give you 4 complete frozen dinners, enough to last you an entire month? But that's not all. Why don't we also give you the perfect place to keep them? And here it is. That, Your Majesty, is your brand new, gorgeous Trio Frost Amana food freezer. Now, it's built to hold over 500 pounds of food thanks to the Amana exclusive Stormore door.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. I wonder if she is allowed to sell them. Sometimes game shows have agreements forbidding it, at least around here. Oh, that's messed up.
Amana-matic contact freezing makes it up to 2 1/2 times faster than ordinary freezing. In fact, in your new Amana, frost never forms. Well, Your Majesty, it's all yours. The gifts, the wardrobe, your wish come true, everything. And what's more, we'll ensure their safe arrival to you in the amount of $2,550. But we're not through yet. In a moment, we'll add still another surprise.
You know, with the help of a ruler and some ordinary household towels, I'm going to give you a simple demonstration right now. Just look at this, will you? The same number of towels in each of these stacks, and yet this stack is a full 3 inches high. Now, the reason, of course, is that the nice, fluffy towels have been rinsed with Stay Puft laundry rinse. Stay Puft does away forever with the coarseness and scratch.
Is this laundry thing called Stay Puff, like Stay Puff Marshmallow Man?
Is caused by too many water.
There's nothing funny about the tools
No,
of
Stay
capitalism.
Fluff. That makes more sense. MMO addicted with 10 bits. Real story. Someone once won an expensive car, couldn't afford to pay the tax, wanted to sell it. That caused the car to be taken away from him, and he still had to pay the original taxes. Ugh.
Stay Puft to your last rinse water, and you can see and feel the difference as soon as your laundry dries. Cherries like this fluff up to new life. And so does chenille. Woolen sweaters
This whole show is just one big ad. This whole show is an ad!
feel very much like cashmere. And even wash-hardened corduroy comes out velvety soft. And best of all, many pieces dry so wrinkle-free, they don't even require ironing. Try Stay Puft.
Who irons their towels?
Rinse yourself and see what I mean. Now get either the handy full quart bottle like this or the economical half-gallon size. Remember, Stay Puft is...
Did clothes come out like super duper wrinkly out of old timey like washer dryers or something? And you had to iron every single piece of clothing? Or were people in the 50s psychotic? Or both?
To get your washable softer, fluffier, and more wrinkle-free or your money back. Pink Stay Puft laundry rinse.
And now, Your Majesty, here comes the surprise we promised you. It seems that young son of yours, Morale, could use a little lift about now, so here's what we propose. Every teenager we ever heard of likes music. So you tell your boy to go out to the famous House of Sight and Sound and pick out $100 worth of his favorite records. Also, tell him to go to any bookstore of his choice and select
$100 worth of
There's
reading
nothing funny
material.
about the tools
Then
of
for his
capitalism.
sartorial pleasure, he can visit the Harrison Frank store in your neighborhood and select $100 worth of any kind of clothes he wants. And while we're talking about hundreds, here's another $100 for him to use just any old way he pleases. Congratulations to you, and best wishes.
That's the only one she reacted to, was actual cash. She clearly needs money. And she doesn't give a shit about your washers and dryers and fridges and frozen meals and No, she just wants money. God. Ammo addicted with 10 bits. Yes, they did come out more wrinkly. Also, I'm now researching to see if Dr. Young's patented interfered with the production or sale of dildos in the U.S.
Now for a thrilling ring.
There's nothing funny about
Make
the
everybody
tools of
happy. Now, say
capitalism.
good and saying goodbye. Saying we wish we could make every lady in America queen for every single day.
Let me see what this says. Oh, God, I can't get rid of the thing. Products mentioned are paid for by the manufacturer or supplier of the products identified on this program. Yeah, no kidding. Sponsored content warning. From the 50s. Antipodian Squid, the way clothes are made, they came out super wrinkly. It's more what clothing was made of than the washers and dryers. Okay.
Bye. Thank you. Stay tuned for About Faces next on most of these stations.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I hate this show. I hate it so much. Okay, good eating habits from 1951. Maybe this will give us some insight into why the Queen for a Day show and other 1950s shows had so many laxative commercials. Let's see if bad eating habits in the 50s are the cause of so much stoppage.
It's fun to eat supper with your family, especially when there is good food on the table. Strong, healthy bodies. They are good.
Is this just a thing full of eggs? Is this just a thing full of, like, boiled eggs? Jesus Christ! Their cholesterol must be bananas!
Good foods to eat. Father is certainly enjoying his supper. So is Carol. So is Mother. Just
weird cuts.
Look at that plate.
Okay, so we got some, I'm assuming this is toast and not just bread. I could be wrong, though. Some sort of chopped, probably a chopped vegetable, is hard to see. And then some sort of meat that they've put mashed potatoes on.
Aren't you feeling well, Bill? Aren't you hungry? What can be the matter? After supper, it's fun to play a while before bed. But there's still something wrong, isn't there, Bill? In a moment, you'll know what it is. Yes, Bill, you're getting a stomachache.
Buy X-Lax, it'll help smooth over. Looks like green peas. Okay.
You have a stomachache, it isn't any fun to play. There it is again. Poor Bill. What now? We'll soon know, because here comes Mother.
Why is Bill sitting in his room at 9 at night with a shirt buttoned all the way up to the top button? Bill, maybe breathe a little. Take it down a couple buttons. My God. Is he still wearing a belt, too? Is he wearing a belt in his own room with a tucked-in shirt at like 9 p.m.?
Mother can tell right away that Bill isn't feeling well.
There's
So,
nothing funny about the
what
tools
happens
of
next?
capitalism.
Don't make me send you the self-care and grooming PSA. I mean, feel free.
Yes, Bill's put to bed to get some rest. Now, why does Bill have a stomachache? He didn't eat anything bad today, did he? Well, perhaps it wasn't what he ate, but the way he ate
Why do conservatives want to go back to these times again? You know why.
it. Why, even this morning, Mother was a little worried. Let's go back to this morning and see how Bill's stomachache might have happened. Bill wasn't at breakfast on time this morning. You see, he didn't get up when Father first called him. Oh, Bill got to the table, and he ate his breakfast, or rather, part of it. Orange juice, one big gulp of it. Milk for the cereal, splash it on.
Orange juice and milk. Doesn't sound like a good combo.
No time to waste.
There's nothing funny
Gobble.
about the tools of capitalism.
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. First, the oddly not terrible dieting PSA, and here's the grooming PSA. Okay, I'll put these in the wings for later.
Down the cereal.
Thank
a
you.
couple of big spoonfuls, one right after the other.
Ooh, that's like really wet. Is it oatmeal? That's some really, really wet oatmeal. I don't want my oatmeal to be that moist.
But leave most of it. Now for the eggs. More good, healthful food. But what about Bill's eating habits? Into his mouth went some egg. Right away, a big bite of toast. And there was some bacon, so he stuffed in
There's
part of
nothing
that.
funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. He was late, so it got super soggy. I don't think eating really fast at like 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning is going to give you a stomachache at like 9 p.m. If you're gonna get a stomachache from that, you would have gotten it way earlier in the day.
And then, just one big splash of milk.
Maybe it's just me. I've never had an issue where I eat very fast. I do. I even slow myself down around other people, but like I eat very, very quickly, typically, and I've never had stomach issues because of it.
And Bill was off to school. Well, he caught up with his family, and he beat them through breakfast. But he ate so fast. And do you think he ate enough?
I don't think the issue was that he didn't eat enough. He drank orange juice, milk, bacon, toast, eggs, and oatmeal, or cream of wheat or something. Like some sort of, you know. I think he's fine.
At lunchtime, Bill had some fine sandwiches. He also had money to buy soup. But he didn't want to stand in line for soup.
Well, golly, I got enough pocket change for soup, fellas.
He was in a hurry to go out and play. So, how did Bill eat his lunch?
Their lunch time is the same time as their recess
There's
time.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
The Meru Sama, thank you for subscribing with a 5-month streak. This is a thing.
Watch.
Oh, God.
After school, of course, Bill was hungry. He was hungry, and he had some money. So, but did Bill leave his pop and candy only half
Soda!
eaten? No, sir. He emptied that pop bottle as fast as he could.
I feel like the person who wrote
There's
this
nothing
PSA
funny
would be
about the tools of
disgusted by the
capitalism.
amount of soda Americans drink in 2020. MMO Addicted with 10 bits, and nowadays Bill is a speed eating champion.
He gobbled down all his candy.
Is he just throwing the trash, like, on the ground? What a dick. Can we do this is supposed to be a PSA. Maybe also be like, and don't throw your trash on the ground.
And, as if that wasn't enough, he ate some cookies, too. Then Bill didn't feel hungry anymore. No, sir. For once, he had eaten too much. At supper time, Bill still felt full. So he didn't hurry with his supper. He just poked at it. He was tired. And he just didn't have any appetite. Bill didn't know it, but he was already beginning to be sick. Well, Bill, now you know what might have caused your stomach ache. Why you feel so bad. Why you'll have to stay in bed until you feel better. You see, you hurried so all day long. You rushed through your meals and didn't eat enough good food. And then, in the afternoon, all those sweets. They filled your stomach and didn't leave room for any of the foods you need. In fact, Bill, you mistreated your stomach all day long. No wonder you have a stomach ache. How is it this morning, Bill? Feel better? Think you know now about good eating habits?
There's nothing funny
Downstairs
about
in
the
time.
tools of capitalism.
Antipodian squared with 10 bits. You heard it here first, kids. Eating sweets gives you a stomachache so bad you'll look like you're on your deathbed. True.
Time for breakfast. Give yourself time to eat a good breakfast. Let's see how well you can eat.
What are the chances that this was partially sponsored by the Dairy Farmers of America, the organization?
That's right. Drink your juice a little at a time. Doesn't it taste good? You just never took time before to find how good food can taste. Mother is pleased and proud. We're off to a good start this morning. But will it last? Will you remember to eat the right way?
What context was this shown in? Like, did they just show this to an entire class? Like, why is this such an epidemic of a problem that you have to teach kids how to eat? Like a normal human being? MMO addicted with 10 bits. That's McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut for me. They make me suffer for hours, but are also the thing I eat when I am super depressed because it reminds me of better times. Yikes. I feel ya.
Uh-oh. Almost washed your food down. Before you take a drink, chew your food well and swallow it. Now you're eating pretty well. Will you do as well with the bacon and eggs and toast? Chew your toast.
Why are he's both eating like a bowl of oatmeal or cream of wheat or something, whatever it is, and then he's eating like eggs and toast and bacon. He's eating 2 breakfasts.
Thoroughly. That's the
He probably has a stomachache because his family is feeding him 2 breakfasts every morning.
way. Chew and chew. Doesn't it taste extra good that way? What about that bacon?
And they're giving him orange juice and milk. Like, what is this portion size? What is going on?
Well, maybe there are better ways to cut it. But when you eat it in small bits, you can chew it
Little bits.
better.
There's
It
nothing
tastes
funny
so
about the
good,
tools of capitalism.
It's the oats or the rectal dilator, Hannah. Gotta keep constipation away.
you want to eat.
No, they do eat lunch at school. He ate lunch at school in this PSA, so he's eating a giant double breakfast with double beverage, then going and eating lunch at school, and then he's coming home and eating dinner.
Every bite. Breakfast is more fun this way, isn't it? Well, Bill, plenty of time to get to school today. And in class, studying seems easier. What? 11 o'clock? Usually you're mighty hungry by this time. Today, you feel fine. Lunchtime is another time to practice good eating habits. Eat slowly and chew thoroughly.
The Heimlich maneuver won't be invented for another 20 or 30 years, so if you start choking, you're done.
Finish all your food. Later on, drink lots of water. After school, that's the idea, Bill. A good snack of crackers and milk at home. That's the good kind of food if you're hungry after...
Like graham crackers, I could kind of see that combo. God, they drink a lot of milk. Why are they drinking so much milk?
After school. And then play. Hard play. Plenty of pep now. Yesterday's stomach ache is forgotten. At supper time, you're hungry again. Everything tastes good, and you're eating well.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. Remember, drink from the good fountain for the white people, not the other one, Billy. I think that was an issue at the time. It was the 50s, yeah. Querulous Artisan with 10 bits. Me at this narrator. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad.
See what good eating habits can do for you? Looking for seconds.
Antipodian Squid, eat all your food. Mate, I couldn't eat all that kid's breakfast, and if I did, I wouldn't need to eat again all day. Yeah. The idea of, like, eating everything that's on your plate, regardless of whether you're full or not, is a very unhealthy, outdated view. And I kind of understand where it's coming from, like, in the 50s. Food, has gotten cheaper over time as mass industrialized food industries have gotten bigger. Food has gotten cheaper, and we can talk all about, like, the bad conditions for, like, animals and stuff, and yeah, that's totally a thing. But I'm strictly talking about it's gotten cheaper over time. So if you threw out, half your breakfast, that's a lot of money you're throwing away in the 1950s, and your parents are probably gonna be mad about that. So it was more like a waste and economic concern than it was a health concern, and probably a lot of the reason America has such, like, a weight issue, because this was such a part of the culture for so long, to be like, just eat everything on your plate, regardless of whether or not you're full, you finish it. There are kids starving in China, which is, an old cliche that people used to say. So, yeah, very unhealthy. Very, very unhealthy.
After supper, you feel fine. No stomach ache.
Mother's fault for cooking too much. I don't think a single parent in the 1950s would ever take blame for something. MMO Addicted, excuse me. 10 bits. My mom used to use my overgrown sense of empathy when I was a small child. Eat these dumplings, dear. You ate their friends, and they'll be sad if you don't eat them as well. That's messed up.
Not too tired, not hungry.
There's nothing funny
just
about the
feeling
tools of
fine.
capitalism.
And that...
I guess that's the end of the film reel that we have available. That's funny. Querulous Artisan with 10 bits. The whole eat your entire plate, even if your full, was pushed on me by my egg donor, and now I have issues with overeating because I don't have a signal that tells me I'm full unless I'm so full it hurts. Yeah. That can be rough. I know this from experience. Again, I'm on I'm trying to regulate my eating habits. I'm down like 30 pounds. I'm doing a pretty good job. But, like, I've had this experience before too. When you're used to overeating, your body doesn't know how to get the signal, like, okay, that's enough food. It's not about being stuffed where you literally can't eat anymore. It's just about not having the I'm hungry, signal anymore. You don't necessarily have to feel stuffed. You just need to feel satisfied and not feel like you're hungry anymore. But if you're not trained to do that because of bad eating habits, whether that comes from, like, your parents or if it's just something you taught yourself to do, it's hard to get out of that, but you can do it. And once you do, it's much easier once you actually, like, tune yourself into more reasonable signaling from your body. But that was an interesting one. I guess it was a big enough issue that people had to,
There's nothing funny
tell their
about the tools
kids,
of capitalism.
don't eat too fast, Johnny, and also here, eat these 2 breakfasts. All right. Dairy farmers of America are the winners in this one, I think. MMO addicted with 10 bits. She did her best. In her childhood, she was often going days without any food, so she always wanted me to have plenty and worried about it. I realized it was not good, but it wasn't malicious, yeah. I imagine that applied to a lot of people who were parents in the early 50s, too, because of, like, the Depression and the war and a bunch of other factors. Like, my grandparents who were alive during, they wouldn't have been alive during the Great Depression, but they were alive during World War II, and I don't know, I don't know the economic situation, but they've been through enough that they compulsively save things that you probably shouldn't have to, in this day and age. Recycling's good, but, like, they reuse things that you typically wouldn't reuse, And I think they just learned that from different parts in their life when it was more relevant. The weight loss one or the how to be well groomed one? What do you guys think? We'll do a poll, actually. Let me do a poll real quick. Okay, vote in this poll. It's only a minute. Vote. Vote! Rationing in World War II, which is why a lot of old people hang on to that stuff. Sure. Weight loss is winning. About halfway through the poll. Make sure you vote. Yeah, we can keep that vote emote even after November, because we do polls and stuff now. That would make sense. It's demons that cause overeating. It's always demons. They have a very busy schedule, causing all of America's ills. Only America's, though, I guess. The rest of the world doesn't exist. Okay, looks like the weight loss PSA is gonna win. So, coolio. We'll do that. Okay, here is a 1950s overweight and healthy diet PSA called Cheers for Chubby. So, potential warning to anyone who, doesn't want to be demeaned for having an unhealthy relationship with food. Like I said, I'm on a diet. I'm 30 pounds down. Yeah, it's unhealthy to be overweight, and it's good to change that. Shaming people, not a great tactic. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I hope it's entertaining at the very least. Oh, my right ear loves this. Oh god, I just knocked over all my tin foil.
This is the story of Chubby Avoirdupois. Chubby started out in life as a chubby little fellow with a hearty appetite.
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. There's a bit of shaming at the beginning, but it's surprisingly wholesome in parts overall. I came in expecting way worse. Okay.
As he grew, so did his food.
Are they gonna do tuba music, or are they gonna do that, like, fat guy tuba thing? Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-ba-ba-da-bum. Oh, I had a nightmare last night, guys. Okay. So, stress stream would probably be a better description. So I was in band in high school, and I was really bad. I was really, really bad at it. We had a terrible teacher who got removed at some point, and I had already left band by that point, but they got removed because they were a bad teacher. And I was put on tuba, and I didn't know how to play tuba. So I just randomly, would play, notes and stuff. And in the dream, I was still part of band when the new teacher came in, and I was playing, random notes on the tuba, and they noticed. The old teacher in real life never noticed, or at least never said anything about it. So, like, he's like, you, play the thing. And I was like, oh, God. I've been called out for my tuba shenanigans.
But that was all right. He was growing, especially lengthwise. As a matter of fact...
What instrument do I play? Trumpet. I could play the trumpet a little bit, but I was never good at it.
Chubby was quite an athlete in his high school days.
Then they switched me over to tuba. I wasn't a fan.
In track, in football, and at the school prom. And he was the most popular lifeguard on the beach, always ready to rescue a damsel in distress.
Why would they put me on tuba? Because they needed someone to play tuba. I don't know. They're both brass instruments.
And as his reward, she married him. And they lived happily for a while. Mrs. Chubby was a good cook and fed him well, perhaps too well. Chubby started growing again, this time sideways. And the same thing happened to slim, attractive Mrs. Chubby. And the more they ate, the bigger they got. And the bigger they got, the more they ate. Chubby didn't notice it at first until his suits began to shrink. And Mrs. Chubby found that they were making dresses in much smaller sizes than they used to.
That's so mean! For those who didn't see, the sign was awnings, implying that only like an awning would fit her. She's so big. That's pretty mean.
The doors on automobiles were getting smaller.
You would have to be so fat to not fit in a car door.
Something always seemed to be wrong with the scales.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
We're nearing the end of the mean part? Alright.
Remembering how they used to look, Chubby and his wife decided to try to reduce. But how? Chubby tried exercise, which was kind of dangerous in his condition, and what Chubby didn't know was that actually he'd have to run 36 miles to take off a single pound of fat.
Eat less. Eat less food.
Mrs. Chubby tried massage, but that didn't seem to work either.
Yeah, because that's not a weight loss anything. That doesn't help at all.
They tried fancy fads and cure-alls, and learned that they're apt to be a bit dangerous. And so Chubby and his wife decide on a sensible thing to do. They visit their family doctor.
It's the doctor's. He's Dr. Fat. His name is Dr. Fat.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
People still thought it worked at the time? Yeah.
Is qualified to decide how much weight one should lose and over what period of time. And for Mrs. Chubby, as for most people, what they weighed at 25 to 30 is about what they should weigh the rest of their lives. As Chubby's doctor knows, there's a close relation between overweight and health. The longer the belt line, the shorter the lifeline.
Yeah.
Overweight people are more apt to develop such diseases as diabetes and heart trouble, and die younger than those whose weight is...
I wonder why old people say it like diabetes, but like younger people say diabetes. That's a weird thing. You notice that? Wilford Brimley did that too in his like diabetes things. Like, I'm Wilford Brimley. I'm here to talk to you about diabetes. I lost my foot and I made a new one out of oats. Like no one. Why did they say diabetes? I don't know.
Is normal. And as for Chubby's waistline, the trouble is he eats too much. The human body is a machine which uses food for fuel.
Oh, not only was he Dr. Fat, he's Dr. YB Fat. I didn't notice.
When you eat just enough food to supply the energy you need...
Oh, good. They're actually going to do like, oh, you know, calories in, calories out. Make sure you're don't eat more calories than you're burning in a day and you won't gain weight. And if you want to lose weight, you got to eat fewer calories than you're burning in a day. Okay, cool.
Your weight stays the same, but when you eat more than you burn up in energy, the rest is stored as fat. Energy is measured in calories, But if you reduce the number of calories, the body is called on to use up its stored fat, and you take off weight. But simply...
MMO Addicted says, yep, good part starts now, and it surprised me. Oh, I'm good. I'm
Starving
glad.
yourself won't do it. You must have essential foods. Rich in protein.
Oh, good. And they're going to be like, yeah, hit your macros. Like, don't starve yourself. Okay.
And vitamins and minerals for building, renewing, and repairing the human machine. That's why the doctor gives you a balanced diet. Not too many calories, but all the foods you need. He will tell you what you should eat, but you've got to work at it. Getting together with a group of other overweight people helps. The diet didn't look so bad at that. There were lots of things that Chubby and his wife liked to eat. Lean meats, and fish, and chicken, and vegetables, and fruits, and milk, and enriched or whole grain bread, and eggs. Well, this looks...
Was 2% milk popular in the 50s, or were they straight up downing whole milk on the daily? I'm curious. When did 2% milk, like, become the norm? I feel like they were probably drinking whole milk back then.
It's easy, almost too easy, especially with a device Chubby invented in his spare time. Chubby watched his calorie counter and passed up the high-calorie foods, and picked the things called for on his diet, nourishing but not fattening. Now there's a nice, sensible meal. A slice of lean meat, a baked potato with a pat of butter, salad, a glass of milk, and strawberries. Uh-oh.
None of these food-based things ever say to drink water. You notice that? It's all milk. Was milk the primary beverage of people in the 50s? That would explain some of the constipation, probably, if they weren't drinking water and were just downing whole milk. Like 8-ounce glass after 8-ounce glass every day.
What's this? Yes, when you have gravy, you find those old devils hidden calories. Chubby's getting in trouble again.
And the farmer's lobby, yeah.
He's ignoring the hidden calories in those extras you add to your diet.
Have some more butter. Oh, make it 3. Just a couple of spoons. Go ahead, pour it on.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Chubby is finishing a light lunch with ice cream, which is all right. But
have a little chocolate syrup. You deserve it. That whipped cream looks delicious. That's it. Shoot the works. Wait till she gets on those scales.
There's nothing funny about the
Chubby and Mrs.
capitalism.
This is how this now feels like a chick tract. A little bit.
They find they can fool themselves, but not the scales. And they take a pledge to stick to their diet.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
This part is my favorite. It's fine to treat yourself from time to time as long as you do it responsibly.
And
Yeah.
determination to resist temptation and develop and stick to a new set of eating habits. Chubby found one exercise that helped. That was shaking his head as second helpings. And the best exercise of all, pushing oneself away from the table. In time, the results began to show. They looked better and felt better. They'd reduced. They stuck to their diet and stayed reduced. It wasn't too easy, but it was worthwhile. Many a time they realized it would have been much smarter never to have gotten fat in the first place. Their old friend the scale was happy too. The only buttons Chubby ever pops anymore are those of pride. And as for Mrs. Chubby, once again, she was the belle of the ball.
I give up. Let's look for another victim. There's somebody.
Okay. That was better than I thought it would be, all things considered. a little pokey fun at the beginning, but it's the 50s, so like that, I expect that. But yeah, good advice overall, mostly, other than like the obsession with drinking whole milk. Like if you're on a diet, probably don't drink a bunch of whole milk for no reason. Just drink water. Water's good for you. It hydrates you, and it is 0 calories. And nowadays, if you do want something like that has a flavor or something, there's like diet soda, or you could get some like light juice that doesn't have added sugar. Like, lots of options. If you're on a diet, I would not suggest you drink whole milk every night. I feel like that's very caloric. Let me look at, what are the calories of whole milk? Whole
There's
milk
nothing funny about the tools of
calories. Dun 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 dun. Calories in whole milk. Tablespoons. Let's say a 8-ounce cup. Where's the calories? 146 calories for an 8-ounce glass of milk. Well, better than I thought it would be, but that's still... Nah. Just drink water, fam. Anyway, that wasn't too bad. Not enough lead in water. Logarth started a message that said I had gastric surgery and whatever. Oh, whole milk was on the okay list? Okay, gotcha. What else? I'm sure they want people, because like once you get gastric, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to drink like soda, because it like the carbonation can expand, you know. It's gaseous and can expand your stomach, so they don't want you drinking like carbonated stuff. My mom had gastric, so.
Body had been found.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Ammo addicted with 10 bits. They started to separate milk at the beginning of the 20th century. Okay. Okay, cool. Telephone courtesy. Going steady. There's so many, it's tough to pick. I don't know. Do you guys see any that you think look particularly good? I don't know how well you can read this in fairness, but... Grooming one? Okay, we can do the grooming one. So this is from 1949. It's actually a little bit before the 50s. How to be well groomed. Let's see how the 1950s said to be well groomed. Speaking of which, did I mention this earlier? I have my first appointment with the electrolysis Saturday. I think it's just like a consult, but after that I should start to be able to get rid of this disgusting facial hair that I hate. Oh, one more thing. Someone has a sex madness. It's like reefer madness. No way.
Joe called. He said he'd be a little late. Say, do you look smooth?
Are these two brother and sister, are they supposed to be married? Because they look like they're so young.
Thank you, sir.
MMO Addicted with 10 bit. Surprisingly wholesome bit of this PSA. Dividing chores. Also, the supple you polish all our shoes. I wish even nowadays more people were like that instead of the woman should clean everything. Yeah. They're supposed to be married. These two look like they're 18. Oh my god.
You look mighty elegant yourself, if I may say so.
Yes, indeed.
Look at these two! Oh my god! This guy looks like he should be making TikTok videos, not being married and going out to the plant to, you know, work 9 hours a day. Thank you, Beelzebub, for the bits.
Both Don and Sue look like the kind of people you'd like to know, don't they? Of course, right now they're dressed for their Friday dates. But don't you have the feeling that they're always well-groomed?
Yes, and that's no accident. For Don and Sue, the question, how do I look, depends on good grooming habits. Health, posture, cleanliness, and neatness, plus a daily routine of little finishing touches. Take last night, for example. On weeknights when there are no dates, plenty of time to do little things that make for a well-groomed appearance.
They're married and he's wearing a Letterman jacket. That's not something I tend to associate with adulthood. Or at least not, you know, unless it's a really, really pathetic adulthood.
Hey, sis, haven't you finished with that iron yet?
You can have it in just a minute. Haven't you got anything else to do? Don, what are you doing in my sewing box?
Well, there's a loose button here.
Oh, all right. I'll fix it for you.
I like that he was at least, it seemed like he was attempting to do it himself. That's kind of nice. I feel like a lot of 1950s, like, PSAs or people wouldn't even pretend.
That is, if you polish my...
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh, are they siblings? Okay. That's weird. Are they living together? Are they, like, college roommates and they, like, rented a house? It's not very clear. Anyway. Correction, they're siblings. Okay. Logarth. Haha, my wife and I go gremlin mode if we have to go out. Hoodies, sunglasses, pajama pants, and slippers. You know, maybe it's just, You know what? Never mind that joke. It was gonna be about, a joke about, let's just say pornography that Jeremy is into. Do you know that about Jeremy? In a video, he talked about how he was into step-sibling porn. Anyway.
My shoes.
I don't know, and anything I think of is very inappropriate and disturbing. Same.
Well, I guess it's a deal. I have to polish my own. I might as well.
Aw, thanks.
Clothes pressed and mended. Shoes polished. These are a few of the habits with which Don and Sue keep neat.
Then why did it say going on a date? Maybe in the 50s or this is 49, date didn't necessarily have romantic connotations. Like you're going on a date with someone, it just meant you're going out. I don't know.
And neatness is one of the fundamentals of grooming. So here's part of your big question, how do I look? Are my clothes neat and clean? Whether you do your own or achieve it by cooperative efforts, keep your clothes looking neat and...
Or maybe they're the Lannisters. This is a Lannister situation.
Clean.
And cleanliness and neatness...
Or separate dates, sure.
...apply to you as well as to your clothes. So after a cleansing...
Cupcake chaos, if she gets stuck in a dryer, I'm out. I understood that reference.
Relaxing bath, that's a good daily habit. Sue...
Can we talk about this? What is with the genre of adult films that involve people getting stuck in things? Things that it makes no sense for them to get stuck in. What is with that? Can we talk about this?
Has a regular routine. And plan time, too, for the finishing touches. Doing your nails, brushing your hair, and so on.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Sue...
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. They are proper Americans, keeping their bloodline extra pure, sponsored by the KKK Phrenology and Blood Purity Test.
Avoids red nail polish, since it would call attention to her stubby hands. A clear polish keeps her nails sparkling. Once a week, Sue gives herself a complete manicure. Then daily care of her nails is easy.
Elaborate, like stuck in an object. Like there are adult films where the premise is like there will be a individual, usually it will be a woman who is doing something like laundry, and she'll like stick her upper torso in a dryer, which is a weird way to get clothes from the dryer, but she does so, and then she acts like she's stuck, even though obviously she's not actually stuck. It'd be pretty difficult to be stuck in a dryer. The doors are huge. And then a male individual typically will come up behind them and things will ensue. And that is the premise of... There are variations. There are variations of this, but that's your standard. There's ones where people get like stuck in windows or dog doors or all sorts of weird stuff.
In the same way, regular shampoos and...
A lot of Pooh Bear fans in porn.
Daily brushing keep her hair clean and glossy. And these finishing touches that add so much to Sue's cleanliness and neatness all fit into a simple schedule of daily activities. And now for at least 8 hours of sleep. Good health is the rule, for health is one of the foundations of your appearance.
There's another link. Let me look at it. A case of spring fever. Okay.
Leave some hot water for me. And hurry, I'll have to shave.
Again, this is... I gotta stop.
All right, Don.
What to wear? The weather has something to do with your choice of clothes. But Don also thinks of other things. Most of his clothes are clean and pressed, so he's not as limited in selection. How about these slacks and this shirt? What do you think? How will...
Where are their parents? I think they're supposed to be in college or something, maybe? I don't know. Maybe not.
Don look in this combination.
Let's hope he'll pay a little attention to patterns and colors.
How about this combination?
That's better. Now a tie to go with the outfit and Don's all set.
Why is he wearing a tie? I hate how formal, and I don't get this either, when there are like nerds who are like, people in this day and age have swag, people back in the 40s had class, and they'll show like, someone out and about in their day-to-day wearing like a t-shirt or a hoodie or something and jeans, and then they'll compare it to someone in the 40s in like a full like 3-piece suit with a vest and a like a fedora, and it's just like, guys, no. I'm glad that style has become more casual over time. It's great. It's fantastic. People do not want to wear suits and like business dresses or like cocktail dresses constantly. Let us not push for wearing formal clothes all the time. If you want to wear formal clothes, that's great. I'm happy for you. Go do that. But like most people don't want to do that when they're just going out to the store or whatever. MMO addicted with 10 bits. Don't wear that colorful shirt. It's too. Looks around for the propriety police. Gay. Someone might want to dilate your rectal muscles. Oh, God. When this gets cut up on YouTube, the dilating thing is going to make no sense to anyone who didn't see the other part. A woman in college? Women went to college in the 50s. They went to go meet a man. At least from what I've seen from disgusting depictions of the 1950s.
Don is putting one more finishing touch to his appearance. A well-matched outfit of clothes. How will he look?
Good enough in that outfit.
I've also seen educational films we've watched on here before where there were women who were going to college for... There were a variety of things. Some of them were going for, like, fashion design and stuff like that. But some of them were also straight up going for, like, home economics degrees, just to learn how to, like, take care of a household and manage a household. So that was a thing.
And now another little habit of cleanliness and neatness. Dirt under your fingernails must be cleaned every day, and it's better in private.
All right, Don, you're next.
Now for a cleansing morning shower.
Meanwhile, Sue gives thought to the day. What will she wear?
There's nothing funny
That
about
depends
the
on her activities, of course.
Overdressing helps with my anxiety. I used to rock a three-piece suit to my university and a pocket watch before the plague. Hey, whatever makes you happy.
For school, choose comfortable not...
I'm just saying I don't like people... Anyone in any form who tries to tell other people, like, how to dress in a non-formal setting. Like, I understand if you're going to an actual business meeting, then it would behoove you to dress appropriately. Or a party that has, like, a black tie, requirement. Like, yes, but we're talking about, walking around, going to class, going to the store. People should be able to wear whatever they want as long as they're not, like, naked,
Too dressy clothes.
And as long as they're wearing a mask, if we're talking about right now.
Perhaps a skirt and a blouse to go with it. But what about these two blouses? Which is more appropriate for school? Which goes with the skirt?
Fellows like to see girls dress up, but in general only for a special occasion.
Yes, choose clothes that are suitable to your needs and situation. But remember that any clothes look better with good posture. Now that her clothes are selected, Sue is ready to fix her hair.
Oh, God.
What to do with those curls she so carefully put in last night? It doesn't matter just what hairstyle you use, as long as it looks right on you. Upswept? Loosely over the shoulders. Just be sure your hairdo suits you and that your hair is neatly in place.
And here's something else for your appearance. Eat a hearty, balanced breakfast. There's nothing like wholesome food to help keep you in good health.
What is with this obsession? Stop telling people to drink so much milk. People do not need this. People don't need any milk once they're adults, but they certainly don't need this much if you're gonna drink milk.
And that means a clearer complexion.
I think everything we've watched today, except for the game show, has involved telling people to drink milk.
Shining eyes, glossy hair.
In short, that means a better appearance. Don's all set to look right at school, isn't he?
Mother, too, keeps a good appearance, even around the house, for that keeps up her spirit.
Did the game show did talk about milk. They had the ad for the powdered milk. Every single thing we've watched today, and we've been going for almost 2 hours, has involved telling Americans to drink more whole milk. What the heck? Or some sort of milk.
And Father dresses according to his work, relying on cleanliness and neatness as the foundations of
He works at a factory that makes those signs that say whites only.
his appearance. So, for each individual,
It's 1949, guys. Someone had to make those signs.
The finishing touches of appearance may be his or hers alone, suited to individual needs, actions, ideas.
After breakfast, Sue goes back to her room for some finishing touches. Her makeup. Her powder is one that blends with her natural coloring. She pats it on lightly, then carefully smooths it over her face.
This is the most careless application of makeup I think I've ever seen.
And be careful when it comes to lipstick.
Yes. Choose a shade that goes with your own coloring and sets off your clothes to advantage. Then, easy does it. Now smooth out gently and wipe off any excess to leave only a smooth film of color, following the lines of your own lips. And finally, a last-minute once-over in the mirror. Make sure your hemline is even.
I don't know, Addicted with 10 Bits. What do you expect, Hannah? A man directed it. No, just dab it like this. I imagine the makeup in the 50s was quite a bit different, too. I don't know what it was like.
Don't let your slip...
I barely understand makeup today. I'm not very good at it, so I'm not the person to talk to about makeup from the 50s.
Show.
Come on, we'll be late. Oh, boy, at the mirror again.
Tucker White 94 with 10 bits. Here's a 50s PSA on making a sandwich with some good old family sexism. We've actually watched that one before. I've seen the making a sandwich PSA.
Well, the mirror could help you check your clothes, too.
Which is weird, too, because, like, do you need to explain how to someone to make a sandwich? I think that's pretty intuitive if you know what a sandwich is. You get some bread and you put some stuff in it. Like, it's not an art form.
And improve...
Sorry to all the John Doyle, famous Subway sandwich artist. I do apologize to you.
Improve your posture.
Oh, Chazika, thanks. And I could straighten up, couldn't I?
People looked older back then. I've seen photos of movie stars, and it will say where they're 20 years old and they look 40. I actually have an explanation for that, because we've talked before. Hans Wormhat, conspiracy theorist on YouTube, who I really enjoy covering, has this conspiracy that time is moving faster, which is why people back in the day, or time is moving slower or something, I don't know. Time has changed some way, it's dilating, and the reason people looked older back in the day is because they actually lived through more time, so time would have to be speeding up for it to be different. Of course, this is ridiculous for a number of reasons, but the actual reasons are multifold. First of all, the people who were actors and actresses back in the day, what people found, I don't even know if I'd say what people found attractive, because people are attracted to all sorts of different things, but the cultural idea of what was an attractive man was an older-looking, mature-looking man, someone who looked like Charlton Heston, right? Whereas I'd say nowadays, when you're looking at the younger crowd, and you're looking for what they think is an attractive man in his 20s, he's gonna look a little more boyish, he's probably gonna have, you know, some more youthful, let's say. Like, even back, you know, when I was in high school, like Justin Bieber, you know what I mean? Justin Bieber does not look like Charlton Heston. The cultural zeitgeist on what is attractive to people is different, and what is considered normal for a pop star or a movie star or whatever. Twinkie. Yeah, a little more Twinkie would be a way to explain it. But there's that. Also, people smoked back in the day. They drank a lot. They smoked a lot. They are having hairstyles and clothes that we would
There's nothing funny about
associate with older people today, because people at a certain point in their life tend to, and this is different, I think, nowadays, but for a long period of time, after a certain point, you'd probably have the same hairdo for the rest of your life, or at least a very similar hairdo. So people who were like in our 90s, or were in their 90s when we were younger, probably had the same hairdo that they had in the 50s, or a hairdo from the 50s. So we associate those styles with old people, so when we see them on younger people, we still see them as older. But there's a variety of reasons. I don't know. Tucker White 94, the truly attractive men today are the femboys. True. Tucker White 94, take two. Here's the 1950s PSA on housework that's sexist to both men and women. Okay. Cue that up.
Well, let's hurry, or we'll be late.
Cultivate.
Like, these two, I think, actually look their age. Like, that guy looks like he's, you know, maybe an 18-year-old or something. Maybe 19, maybe 20 at the latest. I don't know.
Such habits as cleanliness.
And I don't think he looks that different than, like, an in-shape 18, 19-year-old today. MMO Addicted. Hey, my cheesesteak sandwiches today are an art. I made them by using black oxen beef. I sauteed the onions and peppered in whiskey with small dash of honey until they were delectable. I covered it with SME grated cheddar. I don't know what SME is. And I smeared the bread with sweet chili jam before plating. It was divine. I'm sure your sandwich was very good.
Cleanliness and neatness, so you'll be well groomed.
For all through the day, others are looking at you. Your mirror tells you what others see. How do you look? How does Sue look?
How does Don look?
Health, posture, cleanliness, neatness. These grooming habits form the basis of a good appearance and a well-planned outfit of clothes, well cared for hands and nails, light touches of makeup, a becoming hairdo.
Oh, Sue, where are you?
In my room, Don.
Joe called. He said he'd be a little late. Say, do you look smooth?
Well, thank you, sir. You look mighty elegant yourself.
Uh-oh, this is where we came in.
And this is where Don and Sue go out for a pleasant evening. Their good grooming habits help them in friendships and in business. For your success depends a great deal on how you look.
Okay. Just basically, you know, formal dress all the time. But whatever. It calls attention to her stubby hands. I missed that part. Anyway. That's enough of that one. A Word to the Wives from 1955. This is something about homemaking, apparently. Uh-oh, we got a woman talking with her friend, and then we have an angry man in an apron, and he's got a rolling pin. Uh-oh. Man's doing chores. Can't have that.
It wasn't really a plot against George Peters, but I'll admit it might have looked that way the morning his wife Jane stopped by for coffee. We had just been in our new house 2 weeks, and I was still ecstatic over everything, especially my dream kitchen. Well, how do you like it?
There's only one word for it. Terrific.
You know, I'm so proud of it, it's almost indecent of me. I can hardly wait to show it off, week from Friday night.
Well, you go ahead and be indecent. Gal's got a right to enjoy her first housewarming
There's
party.
nothing funny about the tools of
MMO Addicted with 10 bits. Have those man babies actually tried to cook? I love cooking. It's so relaxing and calming and fun. I fight with my family to cook for us all when I'm done with work and uni. I mean, I know a lot of people like cooking. Jake likes cooking. Baja likes cooking. I don't like cooking. A lot of people don't like it. But, yeah, just depends.
Sure wish I was having one. You having many people?
Well, not a mob, if that's what you mean. Just you, the Crawfords, the Slagles, the Martins, and a couple of others. Hey, why so sad? And this isn't the first time I've noticed it.
Oh, nothing, really.
Not very
She just has a basket of cookies ready for people. That's so homely.
convincing, Jane girl. Whatever it is, I've got just the cure for it. There's a sensational sale going on at Watson's.
Women be shopping. Tucker White 94 with 10 bits. Take notes, Hannah. You might just learn how to be a good housewife to Baja. True. I can't cook, though. She has to cook.
A new hat would be the ideal tonic for you. I'm going down this afternoon for a small spree. How about coming with me?
Oh, I wish I could, but it's just impossible. You've no idea how much I've got to do. Remember, I haven't got your dream kitchen to make things easier. Mine's strictly the nightmare type. And I wish George would do something about it. All he's done so far is talk, and not with any real enthusiasm.
About moving, you mean?
We've looked at a couple of older houses, but that's no improvement. We've got an older house.
If only there was some way of really selling George on the idea. The fifth freedom, maybe. Freedom from unnecessary drudgery. Freedom to go shopping when the urge hits you.
Oh, God! This is terrible!
Or when there's a sale going on.
Well, sale or no sale, I'm swamped. Besides, my mother's been quite ill in Cleveland, and I've been thinking about taking the weekend off to visit her.
I've got to get my clothes in the dryer. I'll show you a couple of my prized beauties. This setup makes any day wash day for me. And I can do my dry.
This is my entire world. These are my prized possessions because they wash clothes. Hooray!
In any kind of weather. With a gas dryer.
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
It gets equally sexist towards men, too. At least it's equitable. MMO addicted. I'm guessing they're gonna tell the husband, like, well, now, it's your job to make sure you provide for your wife, so if she needs a better kitchen, you better put in more hours at the plant in order to get that done. That's my guess. MMO addicted with 10 bits. That's why folks should just divide chores between them. I love cooking and I handle all the old house stuff with old stuff, and this lady just keeps showing off her new stuff, you know.
It couldn't be easier. It's completely automatic. I remember.
Yeah, you can post a link as long as it's, like, safe for work.
I remember seeing this washer in the magazine ad. It's automatic, too, isn't it?
That's right.
Isn't there a little colored guide light that follows the operation through the various stages?
Yes. I know exactly what's happening. I don't even have to watch a clock.
Yeah, I know how washing machines work. I'm sure they didn't back in the day, nonetheless. MMO addicted with 10 bits. You effed up that bit message. Which one? Let me try it again. That's why folks should just divide chores between them. I love cooking and I handle all the financial arrangements and taxes. Taxes are fun. Everyone should do what they feel best doing. Ugh, taxes. Just use TurboTax. Or pay someone to do them. I used to pay someone to prepare them for me, but now you just TurboTax or whatever.
Wait a minute. You say...
Let me see what this other link is.
You're going to visit your mother this weekend. You know, Janie, my girl, this might prove a very fortunate trip for you. And just for kicks, don't get too far ahead in your housework. Now, why should you have to lay out everything all nice and ready for...
Oh, they're gonna Mr. Mom him? They're gonna do the, oh, a man doing housework. And then he's gonna see how hard it is, and he's gonna be like, we're gonna get you all new electronics from General Electric. We're gonna get you a gas dryer.
George and Jimmy, down to the last egg and can of salmon.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
MMO addicted. Pay me to do them. Not so fun fact. My tax system professor literally asked me if I'm autistic after he noticed I'm having fun in his class. Oh, God, that's pretty problematic.
Oh, no, I couldn't. I'd have to make things easy for them. After all
you've been going through, this might be the awakening for friend George. The big, bright dawn. It might do him a world of good to be left all alone with Jimmy for 2 or 3 days in your kitchen. Well, Jane finally got off for Cleveland. Still not too certain she was doing right by leaving George and Jimmy by themselves, even though George was absolutely sure they'd get along just fine. That's what he said, just fine.
Oh, God. Why does he just need a whole thing of baking soda? That looked like baking soda, at least. What is he doing?
Of course, when you leave a man to his own devices, he's apt to think of something fancy, like curried chicken with rice. But in this case, George not only should have done a little more thinking about his recipe, but should have kept his eyes on the stove as well. Now, if he had just let his rice simmer instead of boiling. But frankly...
I don't know how to do anything! Jesus. I hate this. I hate this so much. It makes everyone look bad. This just makes the human race look really, really stupid.
I doubt if George...
Tucker White 94. Something fancy like curry, chicken, or rice. That's what I make when I'm too lazy to cook. I don't know how to make it.
Knew how to bring things to a simmer.
Okay,
well, maybe
he's squeezing lemons by hand or something.
Maybe it was the mess, and maybe it was just the temperature outside. But George thought he could use a little cooling off. A nice, icy lemonade would be just right.
That is a tiny fridge. Curry chicken, bah. Try my lasagna, which takes literally an entire day to cook. Lasagna is delicious. I'll eat any lasagna. I'm like a human Garfield the cat.
Hey, Pop! When am I gonna eat?
What's with this ice tray here? There's no ice in it.
Oh, I guess I forgot to fill it.
Sometime you might ask George, how far is a mile? He would tell you it's the distance from his sink to his backyard garbage pail.
Carry the whole can, you idiot. If the bag is that fragile. Jesus.
Now, like many men tackling a problem, George was very efficient. Very. Smart way to do dishes was 2 meals at a time.
Dicker White 94 with 10 bits. And then Jimmy got the belt for forgetting to fill the ice tray. That's a deleted scene. Was there a tin can in the bathroom? Garbage? I think it was the kitchen garbage. It was weirdly tiny for the kitchen garbage can. Yikes. How about you don't lean on it? This guy's an idiot. He's like leaning on the cupboard. He's like, why won't it open? Get off it. That it would help if you'd get your weight off of it. You're holding it closed. He's so stupid. Look at him! No, it was definitely him putting his arm on it. What are you talking about? Is this the dad from A Christmas Story? If I've learned anything from media about the 40s and 50s, it's just that all dads were abusive. Every single father in the 40s and 50s was abusive. Like, no matter what. And they thought it was endearing for some reason. This is why boomers are messed up. All their parents were like, and abusive was the default. And they don't even realize. Oh god, the instant anger is horrifying. Ammo addicted with 10 bits. Fun cooking tip. If you have a, oh god, Parmigiano rind, chuck it in the sauce and let it cook inside it. It'll deepen and enrich the flavor, and it's a nice use for something you'd normally throw out. I also just add a small dash of honey in the sauce. As for chili, if you don't have many different kinds of peppers available to make your own chili paste, add a bit of unsweetened cocoa. Also remember, toast your spices always, and it's cheaper and tastier to smash your own pepper. I'll never listen to any of that advice because I don't cook.
Jane is...
Oh, that's true. The smaller trash would make sense when you remember one-use plastics weren't invented yet. Yeah, true.
Been away for all of 2.5 days. But the way she was welcomed back by George, you'd think she'd been gone a month.
Still, you'd think if you were, like, I don't know, peeling potatoes or something, you'd probably want a bigger trash. I don't know.
Well?
Oh, we'll be there early enough. The others aren't coming till 7.
Oh.
Look, I still have a couple of little things to do, but it'll only take a minute or so.
Your famous sweet potato casserole.
Yeah, only this time with shredded pineapple instead of orange juice. You two go over and sit at the table.
They're just intentionally manipulating the husband into buying them new... into buying them new, Why am I blanking on the word? Not electronics. You know, like your fridge and your oven and your dishwasher. Why am I blanking on the word? Appliances, thank you.
Don will be back in a few minutes, George. He's doing some last-minute shopping for me. Oh, hey, I almost forgot the big news. I went out to Pond Ridge with Helen Baker today, and I broke 50 for the first time on 9 holes.
Hey, now, wait a minute, Powers. You mean to tell me that with this big shindigger staring you in the face, you still had time for golf?
Nothing to it. With this kitchen, it's a breeze. Come on over. Look at some of the evidence. By the way, did you know that this kitchen won an award from the Woman's Home Companion?
Huh?
And really, they thought of everything. I just love the convenience and modern styling of this built-in gas range.
Hey, Alice, aren't you going to light the oven?
I don't have to. It's completely automatic. You'll never guess what this sauce is for the baked ham. Equal parts of grape jelly and light mustard, blended and simmered. And this burner does it without scorching.
What? Grape jam and mustard? What?
Anyone care for a spot of grapefruit juice to tide you over?
Yeah.
Incidentally, one of the things I love about this refrigerator is that it turns out ice circles and puts them in a bowl for you. All by...
Like, I could understand doing sort of like a mustard with a sweet. It's why honey mustard exists. But, like, grape jam and mustard? That doesn't seem right.
So, continuous ice circle.
Yeah? Really?
Aren't you taking a chance of staining that counter with fruit juice?
No danger with Formica. Won't ever stain. Oh, that's the greatest help, George. Hanging the things you need where you need them. In fact, this whole kitchen was designed for efficiency and convenience.
That's what I like. Solid and sturdy as steel.
So easy to keep clean, too.
Hey, what's this?
Americans put mayo on a banana, so... Oh, God. I'm sure that happened. I believe you.
Oh, automatic flour dispenser. Very handy. Here, I'll show you how it works.
Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, hi, Don Boyer.
George.
We're a little early.
Oh, that's good.
I've been showing them around.
Oh, good, darling. Hello, Jane.
Hi. Oh, Don, will you get rid of these for me while I sort this stuff?
Well, you might have pressed old George into service. Here, come on, George, and I'll show you how it works. This is really for me, chum.
What is it?
Well, it's a simple gas disposer. It takes care of all the waste. Yeah, the brightest, shiniest bride could use this gizmo.
Yeah?
It's like a trash compactor?
That's great. And that also goes for this automatic water heater. two temperatures from the same tank at the same time. Now, this pipe here, it gives you hot water for the bathroom and for the kitchen sink.
Proof for those who are unbelievers. I believe you. Let me look at the link, though. Banana roll salad, retro recipe reviews from Brutal Foods. Let me see if there's a... This is from an old cookbook. Is there a picture from the old cookbook? Oh, God. The 50s are full of so many weird things. When Baja Blast and I first started talking, one of the things we talked about was how weird it was in the 1950s. They put everything in, like, gelatin. 1950s gelatin. Oops. Gelatin. So you had, like, savory jellos, you got shrimp jello salads, you got fish, and oh God. I think we read about this too at the time. Basically, jello and gelatin in general had been such like a niche, expensive product for a long time that when it got to the point that it was available for everyone, people overused it like crazy because it was a sign of like affluence at one point to be able to have like gelatin stuff. But of course, you know, it got overused and now you think of Jell-O as a cheapy thing. Not that Jell-O isn't delicious when you get like good Jell-O. I'm just saying, like, culturally it went from being a sign of like, ooh, they took time to make this delicious expensive thing to like, oh, Jell-O, it's 50 cents to get gelatin in a box, you know? So interesting stuff.
But the other pipe, this one gives you really hot water for clothes and for dishes to make them really clean. Wow. Both any time you want. Hey, look, George, if you're really interested in this layout, the man that set it up for us is a good friend of ours, Ed Stevens.
Yeah?
He's going to be here tonight. Yeah, just in case you'd have anything to ask him.
Yeah.
Well, all I want to say is that Don's little suggestion turned into a rather interesting and provocative conversation. And Ed Stevens is a handy man with figures and ideas. It certainly looked like progress was being made when we peeked in on them. Well, that's the way it worked out. And as I mentioned before, it wasn't a plot against George. Well, you don't think Jane and I would do something like that, do you?
It certainly sounds like a plot. It sounds like a plot. Still popular in Poland, basically pork shanks and Jell-O made with the broth of veggies. Ooh. Oh, God.
Well, folks, I'll leave it up to you whether the gals tricked me or not. But that's another story. This new dream house is a happy ending to our story. Why don't you drop around and talk with the men who can make your dream of a new home come true? The best and most reputable builders in your area are here to help you. They're standing by right now in the booth, sponsored by your local Home Builders Association, to discuss plans and prices with you. Believe me, a few minutes now can lead to a whole lifetime of happiness. Happy home building.
Gross. Let's do A Case of Spring Fever. I'm not sure what this is about, but it's from 1940. So it's even earlier than the other ones.
I'm sorry, but Gilbert won't be able to play with you boys till later this afternoon. He's doing some work for me.
Springs. I hope I never see another spring as long as I live.
So, you never want to see another spring, eh? Okay, mister, I'll fix it so you get that wish.
Oh, God, is this gonna be the It's a Wonderful Life of spring PSAs? It's gonna talk about how important springs are in everyday products.
Who are you?
The name's Coily. Coily the Spring Spike, they call me.
Was there like a need for a PSA to teach people about how important industrial springs are? What? Why? Who cares?
I heard your wish, and, well, you're gonna get it. No more.
He's finally had a mental break. After years of lead poisoning and PTSD from the war. Actually, this is 1940. He's about to go to the war. Actually, you know what? No, he's old enough. He probably fought in World War I. The PTSD mixed with the lead poisoning from the springs on his couch have led to him to finally having the mental break. The Luddite movement.
More springs for you from now on.
Was that like a real thing? Was there like a movement in like the 40s and 50s of people to be like, I don't like all this industrialization and modern convenience? Lame.
No springs.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
No springs.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. Yep, same as nowadays. 5G makes the frogs gay and the mark of the beast. But like with springs? Who looks at industrial springs and goes like, this is the mark of the devil? It's just like coiled metal. What?
No springs.
His car's not gonna work.
Hey! The door!
There's nothing funny about the tools.
No springs!
MMO addicted with 10 bits. People used to say fridge ice will poison you. My grandma thought that if women answers a phone, she'll become barren. God, people are stupid.
No springs, my friend! No springs!
This horrifying spring goblin is my favorite character in all of fiction. Okay? Doctor Who? I don't care. Spring Man is my new god, okay? I feel like that's more of a latch issue than a spring thing. No springs! No springs!
No springs!
I'm gonna be Spring Goblin for Halloween. No springs!
Oh, gee, Coily, I didn't realize what I was wishing. I'm sorry for everything I said. Can't we call the whole thing off? Isn't there anything I can do? Please let me take back my wish.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Spring Goblin is a merciful god. You may have your springs.
Well,
MMO addicted. First yesterday's alien head, now this. No springs! How am I supposed to sleep now? On my bed with no springs? You'll bow before the spring gremlin. We all do, obviously.
Okay.
This look at even my microphone. My microphone stand. Springs, okay? The spring demon has power over us all. I think we need to just realize this.
Hey, I'll do it just this once, but next time, be careful. Don't ever make that wish again.
That's your one warning from the spring demon. Everybody gets one. Warn your friends. MMO addicted with 10 bits. I'm making this a D&D monster now, the bane of artificers.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
This is obviously a version of Mr. Mixzplick from a Spring universe. Oh god, I can never I mean, this is the point, but I can never pronounce Mr. Mixzplix. Mixelzixplix. Mr. Mixelzixplix. Tatsuyo Dragneel, if people didn't think springs were satanic, this spring demon probably did. True. Mixelplix. Mr. Mixelplix? Doesn't look like that.
You see, fellows, the scientific principle of a spring is to absorb energy and then to release it. That's all there is to it.
Too bad, Joe.
Yeah.
He has absorbed the power of the spring.
Nice shot. Yes, it was. But if it wasn't for the amount of spring in the club shaft, combined with the spring of the rubber inside the ball, that drive wouldn't have gone anywhere at all.
He's a devotee of the cult of spring now.
You see, all spring action depends on...
This is like a lost H.P. Lovecraft story where he's gonna slowly convert all his neighbors into loving everything spring-related. The Spring Lantern Corps.
Elasticity, the ability of material to return to its original form after it's been forced out of shape. You know, like the action of a springboard. And when you stop to think about it, even the ground, the earth is like a huge spring. It has the ability to absorb a blow and then transmit the shock from one point to another. And that's exactly what a spring is supposed to do. Transmit shock from one point to another. Okay, but let's get on.
Prototype Mr. Fantastic.
On with the game. You don't realize the number of springs that work for us every day. Why, there's a little spring in the cigarette lighter.
There's no way he's getting invited to golf anymore. He's just not.
And the spring in your pencil clip. And the huge springs that cushion the railroad trains. Why, I could name thousands of everyday uses for springs.
Don't bother.
I never realized until lately that springs have such a universal use. Why, there's springs in mouse traps.
A demon came to my house and made the universe without springs, and now I know.
Guns,
and that's how Larry got lobotomized.
Exercisers, hinges, pogo sticks. Why, it's practically impossible to name a single thing in which some sort of spring isn't essential, in one way or another. Take that plane up there, for instance. It's got a set of shock absorbers on the wheels that depend on heavy springs controlled by a hydraulic arrangement. When the ship lands, the springs ease the shock so much you can't even tell when you're on the ground. And as far as an automobile is concerned, why, I wouldn't even attempt to tell you how many various kinds of springs are used, in addition to the springs and shock absorbers. Good. You know, the trouble with people like you guys is that just because most springs are usually hidden, you seldom think of the important part they play in the regular operation.
This spring encounter has ruined this man's life.
And enjoyment of our cars. For instance, just take those springs I mentioned a while ago. The springs that are built under the car to provide complete riding comfort. Spiral coil springs in the knee action in front balance the weight of the car with soft leaf springs in the rear, so that the body always rides along on an even keel. Can you imagine what it would be like riding along a rough road like this without those special springs? And then, too, the springs and the seat and back cushions take up any other little bumps that get through to the body of the car. Yes, sir, as far as riding comfort is concerned, the tires, the cushion springs, and the special springs under the car all combine to give us a ride that can't be topped. Hey, Joe, wake up. Wake up, fellows.
Well, that didn't take long.
You played a great game, boy, but you lost. What you need is a little more spring in the old...
Very funny. You and your springs. I hope I never see another...
Stop! Don't say it.
You'll summon the dread god! No! You mustn't say the words!
Don't ever wish anything like that as long as you live.
No springs! No springs! That's a good one. My goodness. That was an all-timer right there. I think we found your corn hat, Hannah. Hold on. Dairy. Oh God, it's one all about a dairy farm. Christ. So remember Boys Beware? The educational film that was about young men being seduced by older men, and it conflated homosexuality with pedophilia. I guess there's a companion thing called Girls Beware. I'm not sure what this one's about. As far as I know, it's not about lesbianism or anything, as far as I know. I think it's just about like women getting assaulted or taken advantage of by men. But let's watch this one. And then we might call it a night. Probably a little bit of a shorter stream today, just because I'm going to go get ready for D&D, and I want to talk to Baja, because we haven't really talked today. MMO addicted. But Hannah, there was no milk in the Spring Demon commercial. Coily cult protects us from the Illum Milk Naughty. True. Produced with the cooperation of the Inglewood Police Department and the Inglewood Unified School District.
Attached to the juvenile. I'm Norma Neufner, policewoman, attached to the juvenile division. I'm on a call from a very worried mother whose daughter is missing. Her daughter's name is Judy Miller. Judy enjoyed babysitting, but there weren't enough jobs among the people she knew, so she decided to advertise at the supermarket for extra work.
I'm ending probably after this one, so sorry if I misspoke.
Late the following afternoon, the phone rang, and Judy was offered a job for that evening. The man told her he and his wife were going out to dinner and that their regular could he pick her up in 15 minutes.
This is as high as I can make it. I can see if there's a better copy out there with a higher volume, but this is at the max volume right now.
Among the people she knew.
That's pretty quiet still.
Her daughter's name is Judy Miller.
This one might be a little bit better. I don't think very much, though. But it's as high as it can go, so I'm sorry. I'll have the subtitles on so you can hopefully read it. Oh god, the subtitles aren't in English, though.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
So she decided to advertise at the supermarket.
No, hold on. I'll just find a different one to end on. I'm addicted with 10 bits. I can't keep buying stuff, but at BeerMaiden81 found a new god, and then there's a link, but it's not a hyperlink, I don't think, so I can't click on it. Oh, wait, no, it is. Okay. Not found. No, it didn't work as a link. Let's do Uncle Jim's Dairy Farm. Today's theme has been very dairy-oriented, as we saw a lot of films in the American, like, educational film sector from the 1950s were obsessed with trying to get Americans to drink whole milk every single day. So this one, I think, is all about dairy. So we can get the propaganda straight from the source, okay? Let's see what we have to say about milk. There's a fixed one. Let me look. Oh boy, that's cool. I wish I could turn that into a emote, but it's owned by the person who drew this. No springs. I wonder if there's one just from the, hold on, Coily, the spring sprite. Let me see if there's like a non-copyrighted version that's actually from the thing, maybe. I mean, that's it. That'd be hard to cut out, though. I don't know. I kind of wish I could turn him into an emote, but I'm certainly not going to take someone else's illustration, so I can't do that. But oh, God. Do you hear that horrifying high-pitched whistle?
For summer.
Oh, that's through the whole video. We cannot watch that. We cannot watch this. That's terrible. Come on, we gotta find one last good one. We gotta find one last good one to close the stream on. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to do the high-pitched thing. You found this at Walmart and you bought it? Hot Cup of Joe, a piping hot coloring book with America's sexiest moderate, Joe Biden. Oh. Let's do this one. This one is Going Steady from 1951. It's about how to go steady. For people who don't know, going steady was basically just, you know, like dating someone, being their boyfriend or girlfriend back in the day. So there's another link.
Sure problem. Hey, Terry, I got it. Eileen had a whole bunch of cartoons we didn't use.
I do have this one queued up for. I'll do this one another day. This is the story of two young people who face the question, going steady? The question is not answered for them. It is not answered for you. This film is designed to explore the problem and suggest some of the things you will have to consider when you face the question, going steady?
That's for me. Take it easy. Hello? Gee. Yes, he's here. It's for you, Barney. Told you so.
Marie,
Oh, yes, Alice.
Marie, you're upset about something. I do wish you'd try going out with some of the other boys as well as Jeff.
Why? Mother, I like Jeff a lot.
Well, I know, dear. I like him, too. But after all, there are other boys in the world.
If there are, I wish one of them had called.
Now, would you date with one if he did call?
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather go out with Jeff, but I wish the others wouldn't ignore me so. Oh, Mother, that's the whole trouble. Jeff doesn't ask me, he just shows up.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
He knows I'll be waiting for him.
Dude spanking dudes with 10 bits. My dad found out and he started screaming at me. He told me that if I hurt them when I hurt... What? He told me that if I hurt them when I hurt He told me that I hurt them when I hurt myself and then I'm going to give him a heart attack. Then I'm going to make my mom start drinking again. Why do I want to leave a palace? My dad told me, why don't I just die? Why don't... Oh, wow. Yikerinos. Your parents... Yeah, that's not good. Sorry about that.
So he doesn't call, and neither does anyone else.
There are disadvantages to going steady.
Going steady? Yes, I guess I have been going steady with Jeff. We never talked about it. But then, we've dated regularly for quite a while. But it's not serious. Really, it isn't.
Well, I hope Jeff doesn't feel that he has the right to take liberties.
Oh, Mother. That was Alice. She wanted me to come over and make some fudge with her.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Girls. But I guess I'll go anyway.
Don't worry, Marie. I'm sure that if Jeff likes you as much as you seem to like him, he'll be over. Or phone.
Where do you dial that phone? There was no, like, dial thing. It's just, like, a phone, like, receiver.
Hello? Oh, hello, Jeff.
Diane, you know the senior class play is coming up a week from next Friday. Well, I'd wonder if you'd like to go with me.
Well, thanks, Jeff, but you know I'm going steady, don't you? Hal and I. Besides, what's happened between you and Marie?
Between me and Marie? What?
Jeff, Marie is my friend.
Oh god, Ammo addicted with 10-bit special frosting for the fudge.
Besides, everybody knows.
You lift the receiver and the operator asks who you'd like to speak with and they connect you. Oh god. The last thing I need in a phone call is an interaction with an extra person. I can't even talk to people on the phone normally.
You two are going steady. Don't try to pretend.
Going steady? Me? Well, thanks anyway, Diane. Going steady? Everybody knows. Everybody but me. Am I going steady? What does that mean? How did I get into this anyway? Well, I have had quite a few dates with Marie. We've had fun, too. Lots of fun. We've liked each other all along. We've done all sorts of things together, like the time I taught Marie how to skate.
The still image kind of lurking in the background of this is creeping me out.
We sort of, well, we seem to get along. I like it that way. Yes, it's fun to date Marie, but going steady, that makes it sound so exclusive. Everybody knows, eh?
It's great to have you spend an evening at home for a change, Jeff. Quite a while since we played. Your move. Your move.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Skating without springs? Heresy.
This Marie Miller you've
No
been dating
more
seems like a
springs.
fine girl.
Yes, she is. My move again.
Are you sure you want to move there?
I guess I better not play anymore tonight. I'm not so hot.
All right. Something else on your mind?
Well, the kids have all got the idea that Marie and I are going steady.
Uh-huh. You haven't dated anyone else for quite a while.
But we haven't agreed on anything. I mean, we haven't even talked about going steady.
KL Co 90, thank you for
You
following.
just sort of go steady. Perhaps that's the best way to go about it. You've dated Marie a few times. You've enjoyed the dates together. You're in the habit of dating each other. As long as you don't make any commitments, as long as you don't expect too much of each other.
That's funny, Dad. I half expected you to be mad when I told you. A couple of years ago, you used to worry if I dated the same girl twice in a row.
Yes, Mother and I used to worry about you going steady. Still do some. But you're older now. Mother and I think that you're better able to cope with the problems that go with going steady.
Yes. You've played the field for 2 or 3 years, Jeff.
You're 18 now, Jeff. You're basically an old maid. Get married already, Jesus. And this is why so much boomer humor is centered around hating your spouse, because they were pressured into marriage and going steady when they were way too young to know who they were as people.
Now you begin to settle on one girl, to date her rather steadily for a while. Of course, the first time you go steady, you don't expect it to be permanent.
I'm addicted with 10 bits. The way the husband looked at the wife gives me some bad vibes.
Permanent?
Mother and I went steady for quite a while. But it wasn't the first time for either of us.
What your father means is you'll likely go steady with several different girls before you begin to think seriously about marriage.
Oh, well, who's thinking about getting married?
A lot of young people do actually drift into marriage without first finding out how they get along with more than just one person.
No, good. At least they're advocating for, like, dating multiple people. Good for them.
Yes.
Mother and I went steady for quite some time. Mike Pence.
I think I understand better now. Come on, Dad. Let's play some more checkers.
Oh, I guess I can skin you again.
Not this time.
There. You know, I think this is going to turn out all right.
Oh, I guess so.
Marie, I don't know whether I ought to tell you, but...
What?
Well, Jeff asked me for a date. Naturally, I refused. You know, I think you ought to make a bargain with him. Make him promise not to date anyone else.
Well, how do I know I won't want to date someone else myself?
Well, if you do, you can break up with Jeff. Go steady with the next fellow.
Then why go steady at all? Why not circulate a little? Besides, do you think we're old enough to go steady?
Well, How old should you be? Oh, you don't know how wonderful it is. Hal and I can depend on each other. I never have to worry whether I'll have a date. And it's so good to know that you belong to somebody. You don't have to make an effort to be at your best all the time.
Well, what about petting? I mean, I've heard you can get too deeply involved if you're going steady.
I know what you mean. Some boys think they can take advantage of you if you date them more than a couple of times. It's natural when a couple goes steady that they're closer together, but you have to know when to stop.
Somehow that doesn't sound the way I want it to be. Seems crude.
What?
Know when to stop.
Well, you live your own life, but if you take my advice, you'll get your man and you'll go steady. There, all done. I'll get these things.
I wonder, do I have to decide? Can't I just wait and see what happens? Besides, I don't know how Jeff feels about all this.
Go steady for a while with several different girls. Enjoy it. Learn about yourself and about different kinds of girls. But don't expect too much. Don't make any commitments. That makes sense.
Hi, Jeff. Come on in.
I hope you're not busy tonight. I don't have anything planned, but I did want to say hello. Well, hello.
Hello. Wouldn't you want to play some records?
Sure. But first, I did have one thing planned. Would you like to go to the senior play with me next Friday?
I'd love to. Thanks for asking. It sort of helps if I can plan ahead.
Yes, I see. I'll try to ask you ahead of time, sometimes.
And I'll try to say yes. Sometime. How about the records?
Sure. This is going to be fun.
And then he died in the Korean War. The end. I don't know. Why are there so many educational films? There's no way kids saw all of these. Who was watching all of these educational films? I don't know. That's it, though. That's it for this stream. Who can I raid? I would normally raid Jake, but it's still a bit off until we do D&D. That'll be at 8 or so. So when it comes around 8, go and check out actual Jake's channel for our D&D stream. It's a lot of fun. So thanks, everyone. I appreciate all of you for coming to the stream and having fun with me. It'll be... tomorrow we'll do more. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow, but we'll do something. So, have a good night, everyone. Bye.